ridiculous, absurd, money grab, criminal thing I've ever seen somebody do. And I think it happened right before he became president again.
So you don't see Trump as draining the swamp, so to speak.
Oh, no, I think at best case scenario in my mind that maybe he did have good intent, but somewhere along the way, was compromised and now he's not in it for any good interest whatsoever. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, he was just lying from the very, very, very beginning, and he was put into place to make people think that there was a third option, an outside option.
Yeah, yeah. Well, first of all, I guess it should be noted that during Trump's first term, he didn't have the loyalists that surround him now. So it's not like he may have not been the same guy. He just didn't have the same power.
Right. 100% agree. And unfortunately, I think that is probably the case. After everything we've seen, I think there's no denying it. I think if you're listening right now and you're still a Trump supporter, that your ego is in the way. You got to put your ego aside and look at what's going on, and look at the negligence and the lying by omission of truth and the manipulation. Look at it and tell me that you're still a fan of that dude and his administration, because it's not just one person; it's a whole fucking scheme.
Did you vote for Trump all three times?
I did.
Wow.
And I regret it.
Would you? If I'm going to ask you a really crazy ass question. I think I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. If you could go back to November of 2024, is there any chance with those two on the ticket that you would pick Kamala Harris over Trump?
You know what? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because if that was my mindset, and I knew now what I knew.
I mean, no, hold on. Let's say you could go back in time, knowing what you know right now. Is there any chance you would vote for Kamala Harris?
Absolutely not. Just because I would have reverted back to my old belief system that they're both a part of the same corrupt system that is designed to degrade the American dream and the American people and the freedoms that we have. And they're no different. They're cogs in the same machine.
You think there's no difference between Trump and Vice President Harris?
Well, obviously, that would be a bit of an overstatement.
Yeah.
I'm being facetious.
Okay.
The point I'm trying to make is they have the same end goal. How they'll get there is two different things. It's obvious it's completely different people with different administrations.
Okay, I need to know, what is that end goal? You're saying that Kamala Harris and Trump would have the same end goal. What is that end goal you're perceiving?
Succumb to Israel. We probably would be in the same war that we're in now.
So Kamala Harris would have us in war with Iran?
Probably is, yes.
Wow. I got to tell you, I disagree. I don't think Kamala Harris would have got us in war because I don't think she would have. I don't think she would have bowed to Netanyahu as much because I believe President Trump may be personally benefiting from the cooperation with Netanyahu, whereas whoever our intelligence agency intelligence head would have been, as opposed to Tulsi Gabbard, I believe that Kamala Harris would have listened to that person, whereas Trump dismissed Tulsi Gabbard, saying that they are not developing a bomb, and went with some outsiders' information, leading us to war. I don't think Kamala Harris would have done that.
It's a valid point. I guess we'll never know for sure.
That is true.
But, I think to myself, just everything that we've seen, like, okay, just let's go back a little bit to the Epstein files.
Okay.
I would say that it implicates the entire U.S. government and has record going back decades of compliance.
Let me ask you, it's pretty obvious Trump, I mean, not to mention, we could talk about previous administrations that didn't release the Epstein stuff as well, but it's pretty obvious that Trump doesn't want to cooperate in releasing the Epstein files. Do you believe he is in those files?
Absolutely, but that's kind of besides the main point that I'm making, is that it goes to both sides. Both sides are implicated. The government's implicated as a whole.
Well, I don't know about Biden. You think Biden is in the Epstein files?
What I'm saying is that they all knew, and they knew for decades.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about knowing. I'm talking about doing. Do you think Trump did anything?
Well, no, knowing and not doing something about it is complicit, and it's also a crime.
It's not a, well, you know, if you know some child has been violated, the law doesn't require you say anything about that.
Yes, it does.
You're telling me?
It does.
I've never heard of that.
Yes, sir.
So you saying the average citizen?
It's called aiding and abetting.
So you're saying the average citizen, if they know their neighbor is violating a child, the law requires they snitch?
But remember, we're not talking about the average citizen. We're talking about the president of the United States over decades.
Okay. So let's go into knowing versus doing though. Do you think President Trump did anything that's criminal other than just knowing?
Probably, yes.
Wow. So you believe he may have taken the innocence of a child?
Maybe so, yes, sir. Unfortunately.
When did you come to that conclusion? Because you voted for him 3 times.
Well, like I said, I started reconsidering a lot after the lies and deception was coming out about the files. You know, I mean, he promised, and the administration promised that it would be on Pam Bondi's desk the first day, and that they would release it the first day. So days turned into weeks, turned into months, you know, and then looking further into the files that were released, when they did finally release these horribly redacted files, it implicated them. So it's like I'm just reading. I'm not here to deny reality. What I'm trying to say is that there's a much larger picture at play going on here than just Trump versus the other guy.
Do you think he's, other than the Epstein stuff, do you think Trump did anything that would borderline on criminal?
Well, I mean, he's been actually brought up on criminal charges for, you know, a lot of financial things, I'm sure, right? Like,
well, but they say that's a witch hunt. You're talking about the 34 felonies, they claim that's a witch hunt.
Right. I mean, like, I'm not a fucking lawyer, so.
Do you think those 34 felonies were legit convictions?
I mean, at least some of them.
But you voted for him after he got that. Why would you vote for a guy with 34 felonies?
But okay, there's a big difference between taking the innocence of a child versus manipulating the economical system to try to get into a political.
But you're voting for a president that manipulated the economical system.
Well, remember, he admitted to this during his first campaign. He admitted to this, and he said that it was all to make the system better, right?
That's like saying, that's like saying I ripped off the bank so that they would get a better security system.
It's better to rip off the banks than the American people.
Oh my God. You bought that?
Well, yes. I get it. There's more to it.
Okay, keep going.
It's not just like it's a little hard to explain, you know, right here in the moment. I honestly didn't expect you to go live with it.
Well, you got about a minute left before I actually start the live up, so, but I thought that was kind of funny. So you believe he manipulated the system to make it better?
Well, like, that's what he ran on whenever he was going up against Clinton, right? He said, you know, one of the reasons why I'm so rich is because I've used all of these loopholes, you know, quote unquote loopholes, right? And he said that those are the same loopholes that got you rich. I'm just willing to admit it. I'm not speaking verbatim. I don't remember exactly what he said, but that's basically what he said. Okay.
All right, and you really, so even though he's telling you he got rich by using loopholes and somewhat manipulating the system, you expected him to become president and stop doing all of that and actually go straight and actually abide by the law and all of that.
That in short terms, without being able to explain all of the other reasons why I liked and wanted to vote for him originally, yes.
I mean, well, listen. At the end of the day, I will give you a lot of credit and kudos for admitting that. I mean, there's a lot of that's like you just stated. Anybody that's supporting Trump, you said they need to get their ego. What did you say again?
I mean, you need to put your damn ego aside and look at what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, I give you credit. Most MAGA are not saying that. So,
unfortunately, that is the case. Unfortunately, well, look. I'll say this in defense of the MAGA people, that a lot of them are very dissatisfied, very displeased, and are no longer fans or supporters of Trump. But that doesn't get as much media attention as the diehard Trumpers. It's the same way with the hard far left. They get all the crazy people on the media, and the handsome liberal doesn't get all the good views.
I don't get shit.
I'm telling you, you start making sense, you start talking sense, you don't get put on the algorithm.
Yeah, I don't get shit. All right, well, I got to move it on. It's definitely a pleasure talking to you. If I see you, I'll certainly bring you up more often. So thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. All right, folks, tap the screen. This is the live. Go ahead and drop there. I'll let you do that. It's your boy, Tim the Handsome Liberal. I was bringing up a guest on Instagram. He's been trying to get up. So we're going to go ahead and start the show. We're talking about the difference between far left and far right rhetoric. Now, some of you folks may have heard in the beginning. I'll play it again because this is making the rounds to have a left-leaning head of the DSA. You're hearing all about the DSA right now because the claim is that they're all about implementing socialist policies and trying to destroy this great nation. So to go on Fox News and state this is crazy.
Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay. Replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
National co-chair Megan Romer, co-chair of the Democratic Socialists of America, had a viral moment in a Fox News interview on Sunday. She was asked about some of the organization's more controversial stances, and she affirmed each of them as being truly part of the platform. Here was the rest of that exchange.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Defund the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's terrible.
Well,
let me just say this. First of all, I think I would say probably 99% of Democrats disagree with that shit. I mean, how you gonna get rid of prisons? I mean, like, where are you gonna put bad people at? I mean, look, ICE has went overboard. ICE is doing oppressive, some would argue racist shit, but you do need immigration and customs officials. Why would you want to defund the Pentagon? So the woman is all for a rocker, but she's representing what amounts to a fairly large growing institution representing the far left. So we're going to be talking about the difference between far left and far right rhetoric and why far left rhetoric seems to get more attention. But far left rhetoric gets a lot more attention, but far right rhetoric is real. I'll give you a couple examples.
This morning, President Trump is calling on Republicans to nationalize elections as he continues to push baseless claims of voter fraud.
The Republicans should say, we want to take over. We should take over the voting in at least 15 places. The Republicans ought to nationalize the voting.
Under the Constitution.
15 places, all in Democrat areas. So in other words, Democrat locations should allow the Republicans to nationalize their election to take. That's far right. I mean, that absolutely is far right. And that's what my last guest was suggesting, that far left rhetoric. People perceive that as taking away their freedoms. This right here would be huge towards taking away freedoms. I mean, which to me, also, the fact that he said something like this should really discredit anyone from listening to his election or his election advice in regards to the Save America Act and all of that. This guy is suggesting that there is widespread fraud And he wants to solve it by putting one party in control of the election without proving the fraud even exists. To me, that should discredit him. But we're talking about far-right rhetoric. I mean, because far-right does exist. I'll give you Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. I think this one is fairly interesting. This is a few months back, but it's really interesting.
Hegseth recently made headlines when he shared a CNN video on social media about the Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, an arch-conservative network of Christian congregations where he's a member. The video included its pastors arguing women should not have the right to vote.
I was very grateful to him for doing that. He didn't just repost it like, oh, here's an interesting thing that these weird people are doing. He reposted it, and he himself said, all of Christ for all of life, which is the tagline that we use. So he was, in effect, reposting it and saying amen at some level.
Pastor Doug.
So that would be like the DSA saying that, Biden or Kamala Harris is on our side. I mean, this is somebody who does not, this is a group or an organization that does not believe women should have the right to vote. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, repost that, and the group are suggesting that even he pretty much co-signed it by saying amen. This doesn't get a lot of attention like far left rhetoric does. This is far right shit. And there's a host of other stuff like suggesting that women that terminate pregnancy should get the death penalty and Muslim bans and things like that. It does not get the same attention that far left rhetoric does, even though it can and often is equally harmful. So I do want to talk about that. So tap the screen, get us on up to 15,000. We'll start taking callers. By the way, I got a couple other topics I want to run by. This one here, I did a short on it because I think it's crazy, but I watch a lot of O'Reilly and News Nation and Chris Cuomo and all of those folks. And O'Reilly always says some of the darndest things. Check this one out.
Inside Iran, inflation's about 80%. That means people are having trouble buying food. When you can't feed your population, that's when revolutions start, and that's what the Trump administration was hoping for. That the Persian people would rise up and get rid of these fanatical mullahs. But that's a hope. It's not a strategy.
Okay, now he's saying inside of Iran, inflation's like 80% and people can't get food. And once people get desperate, that's what's going to lead to them potentially rising up against the mullahs. We've been bombing Iran almost daily now for almost 2 weeks. We've killed over 100 and some odd schoolgirls in a fairly public display of bombing. Trump has been literally making jokes and comedic references to killing these people, up to and including threatening to destroy their entire civilization, threatening to bomb bridges and a water, water desalination plant so that the people have no water. Why the hell would O'Reilly think that because they can't get food or their inflation rate is high, they're going to rise up against the mullahs when we are the ones that are annihilating them? I'm not going to take away from the fact that some of the protesters in that country were getting slaughtered before the war began, or that they don't have total freedom, certainly not compared to us. But you got a president a few thousand miles away that is literally bragging about killing you folks. This is not the time to rise up against your own government who's fighting the same enemy you are. This is the time to unite with your enemy. This would be like right after September 11th. I don't care what type of beef you had with George W. Bush, you were going to unite with him because he had a common enemy that represented a greater threat. Right now, America represents a significantly greater threat than the Ayatollah or the mullahs do to Iran, because they're not threatening to destroy the entire civilization or get rid of desalination plants and making comedic references to killing people. So I don't know why he would think, because of what's going on. And by the way, the 80% inflation and the fact they're having hard times finding food, that's because of us. They weren't at 80% inflation before we started attacking. That's the stuff that we're doing. So we're going to destroy the country, and that's going to lead you to rise up and fight against the mullahs? That makes no sense. I don't know what O'Reilly was thinking to even make that statement. Last but not least, I don't know why this guy gets so much hatred, but I want some of you folks to help me understand this.
A number of people who are survivors of 9/11 are calling on you not to go to 9/11 memorial services. I wonder how you feel about the fact that they're trying to keep you away.
I will proudly honor the families, the survivors, the first responders forever impacted by that horrific terror attack by standing alongside them at this year's 9/11 commemoration, reaffirming that we will never forget the solemn day felt by all of us who call this city home, and frankly, by all of us who call this country home.
Why don't they hate this man? This is Zohan Mamdani, and the suggestion is some of the family members of the descendants of 9/11 victims do not want him at the September 11th memorial. Now that's going to be, what is this, a 25th anniversary? This guy was a kid when that happened. I mean, Mamdani's only in his, early to mid 30s, so he would have been, in grade school. Why the hell would they want Mamdani to be kept away from what happened, at the memorial that his city is the one that orchestrates? Is there just unnecessary hatred for this guy? Why would you want that? Somebody has to explain it to me. So you guys know how the program is ran. We don't block, ban, or censor. We're talking far left versus far right rhetoric. Our comments will go left of Mamdani to I'm having dinner with Trump. So tap the screen, get us up to 20,000. And you guys know how the program is ran. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. We will remain MAGA friendly in our entirety. Liberals are welcome on the program as well. You can be critical of anyone, including the host. So looking in the comments right off the bat, Pepsi says, I'm from New York City. Some people are stupid and they don't understand, man, a child, what are you? I don't get it. I don't know why would they not want the mayor at the 9/11 memorial 25 years later. It ain't like he wasn't even an adult when that happened. So I don't know why the hatred towards him is that great. I said, C. Osby says racist. You think they're being racist towards Mamdani? Women should not vote, says the handsome conservative. Don't trust anything that bleeds for 7 days. Whoa. So you think because a woman menstruates, she should lose her voting rights? Conservative, you need to put a request in. I need to hear you clarify that. Wow. Holy cow. Both sides on the list. Lobby controls both sides. Ghislaine Maxwell, dad, Robert Maxwell, was an Israeli spy, divide and conquer. It's amazing at how many things. I just say this, under Trump, the both sides defense has gotten a lot of steam. It's amazing at how many things Trump promised to expose, drain the swamp, end corruption. And now that he's knee deep in this stuff, the constant defense for what Trump is doing is often both sides. He didn't campaign on both sides. He campaigned on fixing shit. C. Osby, appreciate the finger heart. Thank you very much. Now that Trump is failing at everything, they all do it. The Democrats didn't release the Epstein files either. Hunter Biden's son was making money too. Trump was supposed to be the guy who did not do that stuff. The guy who exposed that stuff, not both sides. So in other words, he is no better than the guys that he claimed he ran against. Now let's say it's just all both sides, huh? Wow. In the comments, there is no war going on, says Tobias. Then you need to tell that to your commander-in-chief, because that's what he's calling it. President Trump is calling it a war. So do you know something, Tobias, that our commander-in-chief does not? Because he's referring to it as a war. Many people say that there is an old saying, don't trust a greedy person. Well, then you would not trust anyone in a capitalist society, because to some degree, we all are greedy. I think most of us have more than we need. I mean, most people in America have more than they need to survive. So you wouldn't trust hardly anybody in the country if you believe that. Is Ukraine helping attack Iran? I believe they've been helping us out with the drone technology. They're in a desperate situation, and even though Trump has been very critical of Zelensky, it still would be in Zelensky's best interest to work with the United States, because had Kamala Harris got reelected, or elected rather, had Kamala Harris won, there would have been a good chance at this point that Ukraine could have been negotiating whether or not they wanted to be part of NATO. At this point right now, I would say America is probably the most resistive nation to the Ukraine because of President Trump. All the other nations believe that Ukraine is doing the right thing, believe that Ukraine is the victim in that war. Trump has said that Ukraine started it. He's the only NATO member nation that says something like that. So, look, if I'm Zelensky, I try my best to put up with Trump and satisfy him as long as I can, because there's a really good chance no matter who comes after Trump, they will be more friendly to the Ukraine than President Trump, no matter who it is, right or left. Even if it happens to be, J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio, they're all going to be likely more friendly to Ukraine than President Trump, and any Democrat will be. So if I'm Zelensky, I try to wait it out. Tobias, we all know Congress hasn't called it a war, but Trump himself is calling it a war. Look, the reason we don't want to call it a war is simple. It's illegal. It's illegal. There's no way in hell one man, that being the president, should have been allowed to get us into a 5-month war without getting Congress to even weigh in on it. We've been dealing with Iran now for 5. What they're doing now to try to get around it, using legalese and trying to mince words, they're trying to suggest the ceasefires that have happened in the middle of this are separated. Because you only get, I think, 90 days or something like that. You can start a conflict for a short period of time. And then after that, you have to get congressional approval. So they're trying to say, well, right before the 90 days was up, we had a ceasefire. Maybe it went on for a week or two. Then there was another one. So we never went on for longer than 90 days. They're counting those ceasefires as an interruption. I mean, it's if that don't look corrupt to you, I don't know what is. But that's what they're trying to say, is that we didn't go past congressional law because it didn't go on for 5 months. Or it didn't go on past the 90 days. We always had a ceasefire in the middle of it. Boy. In the comments, tap the screen, get us up to 20,000. Take the first caller. Tim, you are a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you, Moran. And I appreciate your show. Also, Gen X and Miss Mo Better for 2028. Hashtag Gen Better 2028. Miss Mo Better and Gen X. Wow. I'll tell you something, even though that is a crazy ass ticket to ever imagine. Maybe we need something like that where you got literally the hard right and hard left sides of the aisle on the same ticket, because they would both have an incentive to try to do something for each other's party. But the vice president don't have a lot of power. So whoever is at the top of the ticket would control all that. Miss Mo Better and Gen X, that would be crazy. Going to the bots, we'll go ahead and start out the show. Help your boy out with the hat mustache. TikTok cap goes. Feel free to share the live if you will. Iran will wait out this imbecile. Now they know nobody is standing behind them now. And help your boy with the hat mustache, TikTok cap goes. I will say this in regards to Iran waiting it out. If I'm advising Iran, that is the number one advice I would give them, is to try to drag this out until the midterms. Because if you drag it out till the midterms, you have the potential of obtaining or being gifted with one of the most powerful allies against your enemy, that being President Trump, that you ever could wish for. That being the Democrat Party. That being the Democrats are by proxy an ally to the Iranians, because if the Democrats take over in the House and Senate, they're going to try to do more to Trump than the Iranians could ever do. So it is certainly beneficial to the Iranians to make sure Trump goes into the midterms doing as bad as possible. Because the minute the Democrats take control, they're going to be impeaching, they're going to be limiting his powers, they're going to limit him from being able to continue killing Iranians, probably ending the war. All of that benefits the Iranians. They want the Democrats in control. So they absolutely do not need for this to calm down before the midterms, allowing Trump to have a victory in the midterms, and then he can start this stuff right back up in January or February. They want Trump to go in the midterms looking terrible. It's in favor of their longevity. So I'm absolutely telling them, you need to drag this out until November if I'm advising them. Stick the ruler. If Dems win, our country falls, says Joe Schmo. The country's not going to fall. I can't tell you how many times we heard the country's going to fall if Trump got reelected. We heard the country's going to fall if Obama got reelected. It amounts to nothing more than fear-mongering. Stick, good evening.
Hey, what's going on, Tim? How you doing?
Not much enough. We're talking about far right versus far left rhetoric. Why does far left rhetoric get so much more attention than stuff on the far right?
Because they're the bitches. They're the whiners. The far right, straight talk. They talk about somebody being a victim, but they're a victim all day as soon as they open their fucking mouth. So that's why they cry all the time about every fucking thing. That's why we're here right now. They tried to say that people were playing victim, but the whole time, all they did was complain under Joe Biden.
Well, I mean, to some degree, but I gotta applaud the Trump side of the aisle. I gotta give them applause because it works. If the Democrats are not bitching, as you say, then a lot of far right rhetoric becomes law.
Again, Tim, it's the pot calling the kettle black.
What do you mean?
It's the hurry up. Let me own the libs and or the narrative. Just like with the boy with the ice getting pew-pewed in Minnesota.
Okay.
And the woman, they called them terrorists.
Yeah.
So again, they're quick to get ahead of it. They're quick to point the finger. As long as they feel like they said it first, then you can't say it's me.
Well,
that's the way that they look at it.
I mean, maybe
said it first.
Maybe so, Stick, but it is working. I mean, it is working for them. What Trump is doing,
it's not. His numbers are super low. I think he's like, I think right now 27 or some shit like that. At a rate of approval rating.
Yeah, I mean, but the Democrats, to be honest with you, the Democrat poll numbers aren't looking that much better. It's even right now when they poll folks, which party would you favor to manage the economy? The Democrats still, I believe, they're still falling behind Trump. And thank you, handsome conservative. Appreciate that.
So it's weird to me that they're falling behind Trump. However, they've taken over like 30 seats. Like they've won 30 races, but somehow, some way, the Democrats their approval rating ain't what it is. Stop it, Tim. See, that's not. That's the part that makes no sense. Listen, I don't know who the fuck they calling. They're probably calling all Republicans and then getting the numbers. And
so what do you say? The polls are not accurate?
The same numbers that they're giving Trump.
So what do you say? The polls are not accurate?
Fuck no. If they're winning all the seats and then they're still complaining, it can't be. Okay. None of that makes any sense.
Well, I understand the premise that it shouldn't make sense. You should look at the economy and gas prices and grocery prices and certainly want an alternative to Trump. But I believe what's working for the Trump side of the aisle, what's working for the Republicans is the branding. They're branding Democrats as socialists that are going to be much worse than just paying a few extra cents per gallon more.
I'm going to say it like this. California, they're going to pay more because they pay for a better premium gas, cleaner burning gas. So their gas is going to be higher than the rest of the country either way. However, they don't have an ozone problem anymore or smog problem anymore. So they've shown us the way and what we need to do to help with global warming. I would say, not help, but, help prevent it. Secondly, places like New York with a small time, he's not really small time because, it's a city of, I believe it's like 8 million people, 10 million people, something like that.
Okay.
I believe that Mamdani with the 5 barrels is showing you what Democrats and or Democratic socialists can do. And they're getting pissed off. So if anything, Democrats are winning big time and showing it big time.
Well, I gotta halt you on that. I don't know if Mamdani is not showing us what Democrats can do just yet, because folks are going to suggest Mamdani's only been mayor since January, so you got to see if there are any consequences to the far left policies he's doing. Now, if he's, and I said this yesterday, if he is mayor for 2 years of New York and it does not fall apart like the right is saying, then I'm on your side, Stick, is that he showed us that you guys were on a bunch of bullshit when you claimed that a socialist would destroy an area, but it's got to be longer than going from January to July.
Oh, well, it didn't take nothing but Trump that long to fuck this country up. So, I mean, if he's showing improvement in goddamn New York City, then by all means, man, tip your hat to that man. And apparently the citizens and his constituents in the city like him. You know, it's more that love him than hate him like Trump. Like Trump got a strong.
Yeah, but they didn't hate Trump. But wait a minute. In defense of Trump, he wasn't hated as much. And I'll say as much because the liberals have always hated him, but he wasn't hated as much until the war in Iran broke out. Before the war in Iran, they were fine with what ICE was doing. They were fine. I mean, because gas prices were fairly low. The economy was still teetering because grocery prices hadn't come down, but people were believing that stuff was going to happen. If any, probably the worst thing to Trump's second term is that war.
Yeah, it is going to be the worst thing for both terms. And the reason is, the first term, it was a good economy because Barack Obama set it up that way. Before you went into your spiel, I was just finna say I watched three Democrats come in and fix the country when this shit was at.
Did you break up? Did I lose you? I must have lost Stick. All right, we'll move it on. Apparently he got a phone call or something there. In the comments, Marani said, Tim, do you have a call-in option on YouTube yet? No, unfortunately I don't, but there is plenty other ways. If you want to call in, you can come over to if you have any of these apps, and it is 100% free to call in. Same name on every app. The Handsome Liberal across every app. So if you got Substack, Instagram, TikTok, or Clapper, any of those apps, you can come over and we'll bring you up. You can actually be a caller. Doesn't cost you anything. So unfortunately, YouTube doesn't have a call-in feature, but all of those other apps, we're currently on all of those live right now. Clapper, Instagram, Substack, and TikTok, in addition to YouTube. By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, I need you guys to smash that like button. Helps out the algorithm, brings in more MAGA. Looking in the comments, tap the screen. Bill Clinton and Obama first term would be Republicans in 2026 by views. What do you mean by that, Stevie D? Bill Clinton and Obama first term would be Republican. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. And so would Ronald Reagan. I don't even think the MAGA party of today would view Ronald Reagan as because Ronald Reagan granted immigrants amnesty. Trump wants them all gone. And he wanted them all gone even when Obama was president. So let's go before the alleged Biden open border policy. Trump was anti-immigrant before Biden even got elected. He was talking about Muslim bans and shit in his first term. So, yeah, the MAGA side of the aisle would not like, in fact, they don't like any of the Republicans. They don't like McCain. They don't like Romney. They don't like the Bushes. They don't like any of those folks. MAGA's a whole different animal. They don't like any of their previous Republican nominees. Everybody that they wanted to be president just a few years back, they don't like any of those people now. Looking in the comments, and tap the screen, get the likes on up to 35,000. We'll go back to the box and we'll make it happen with Twisted. Obama was very conservative. I don't know if I would say Obama was conservative. I don't know where you're getting that from. He wasn't as far left as the right suggests, though. I'll go with that. I don't think Obama was conservative, but he certainly was not as far to the left as a lot of folks on the right want to say he was. Obama deported more illegals than all presidents. And you know the crazy thing is, the right was busy saying at the time he was for open borders. They were which is now that Trump started getting in trouble for separating families and his wild deportation numbers to defend Trump. Well, you know, Obama was doing it too. That ain't what you was saying when he was in office. You was accusing the dude of being for open borders. So now that Trump is getting all kinds of negative press, you wonder, well, you know, we were actually lying about Obama at the time. He actually was securing the border. Okay. Let me go back to the box. Tap the screen, get the lights on up. We'll go to Gangsta Grandma. Ronald Reagan was a Republican, saying he was anti-immigrant, tells me you must be smoking churn food.
Honey bunny.
Oh, hang on a second, Gangsta. You said Ronald Reagan was a Republican, saying he was No, I said Trump is anti-immigrant. Ronald Reagan was pro-immigrant. Ronald Reagan granted immigrants amnesty, Michael Eubanks. Trump is anti-immigrant, not Ronald Reagan. What's up, Gangsta Grandma?
Everybody. Hi, everybody, and hi, especially to the spoiled biscuits. Buttermilk biscuits. How you little mofo doing?
We're doing good. So why the hell would folks that have loved ones that lost their lives at the World Trade Center on September 11th, why would they want Mom Donnie to stay away from the memorial?
I lost my aunt on 9/11.
Really?
And I didn't even, I just had my daughter, and we was watching TV. My aunt was way up there on top, and I seen it crash, and I thought it was a movie. I was looking at my mom. I'm like, what the hell? Go get your sister. Call your sister. Look at what just happened. We was freaking the hell out, and I was in New Mexico when that shit happened. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I don't know why people have to be so fucking idiots. Hi, guys. I don't understand why people have to be so racist. The reason why they don't want him because he's a Muslim. He's a Muslim.
I don't get it, because Trump has now befriended the Saudis, and that's who the 9/11 hijackers were. They were all Saudis. So why target Mom Donnie when Trump is favoring Saudis?
I don't know. He's a white man, girl. You know. Damn, I called you a girl.
That's better than what you normally call me.
Well, typical. Well, you be an ugly ass woman, honestly.
I thought you were an ally of the trans community. I could throw on a wig and, pass it.
No, you could never be a trans. Like, you'd be too ugly.
Oh my God.
No offense. You don't even have the facial. I mean, good God. You would freak me out if you walked in the bathroom.
So I'm just an ugly ass human being to you.
Yeah, you are, because you white with black skin, Negro.
So that makes
you thought I forgot about that?
So that makes you officially a racist. That officially makes you a racist.
Me?
Yes.
I'm a racist?
Yes.
The one that you be sucking on the racist ones, not me.
For you to suggest I am unattractive because I'm white, that makes you a racist.
Oh my God. Look at your white tears, Tim. Oh my God, Tim is crying because I say he ugly. Boy, shut up, dog. Well, get the white tears, get your little napkin. Golly, get some balls, Tim.
Okay.
You let these mofo white tea people punk you out and make you
What the hell do you think you're doing right now?
I don't have to punk you. I'm telling you the damn truth.
Really?
Yeah. You, Tim.
I'm listening.
Lord have mercy, Tim. I tell you, Tim, I thought we cannot be married, Tim. I couldn't because look at this. Look at this chat. No.
Tobias said, girl, you look like him without your wig. So
Okay, all right. Okay. Break this shit down. You go on my main page. I don't have no wig on, honey.
I'm just telling you.
My hair's past my ass.
I'm just telling you.
Past my ass.
One of the viewers is saying you look like me once you take your wig off.
You know what, though? You know what today, Tim? You know what happened to me today,
I'm
Tim?
listening.
Break this shit down. Break this down, honey. You know this white tea woman, Burt Mayonnaise people, told me that black women cannot have long hair. You know what? I cammed up today. I did.
Really?
I was in a chow. I cammed up. And you know what I did? I showed my hair. And my hair is all natural. Wet and all. That's my ass. You know what that white woman said? Well, I never see a black woman with hair like that. Shut up.
I've never seen you came up.
Our hair is beautiful. We have every texture of hair, and all of our hair is beautiful.
You don't cam up for yours truly.
Why would I need a camera for you?
How about
Because
this
you got
one?
maggots.
How about this one? You know, when I normally be asking folks to support the program with had mustaches and shit.
I'm
Listen,
not
hold
lying.
on.
I'm not lying.
What?
I'm not lying.
Okay.
I did cam up today.
Well, I haven't seen your camera, but I want to say this.
Well, why? Who is you though?
Apparently, no fucking body. Apparently, no fucking
Yeah, you
body.
are nobody. I don't need a camera for you. You don't pay my bills.
Okay.
You don't do nothing. You a white tea man. I don't fuck with white tea man. So no, I'm not lying. I was on a debate. Who was that? I forgot what debate. God something. Yep, I sure did.
Okay. Here's something I want to say. When I be asking folks to send had mustaches and TikTok caps and shit to support the show, check this comment out coming from a viewer. Now this viewer obviously does not like me, but you know we don't censor any criticism. He says, go back to that trap house or maybe the view loses. So he's saying I'm from a trap house. He continues on to say that you're a grifting loser. So I guess the had mustache TikTok cap, but he's saying I came from a trap house. Do I look like I sling product gangster?
You know why? Do you know why?
What's
a
that?
lot of people, a lot of Dems and left people come after you because you do. You are a spoiled buttermilk biscuit supporter.
Who am I supporting?
You know what I mean?
Because that's MAGA. That is MAGA saying it. Hold on. That is MAGA saying it. Who am I supporting?
You support them, Tim. You have to be on the Cooney side, on the other side. You never want to bring facts for us, Tim.
Bullshit.
You know, and you know that. No, you don't, Tim.
Wait, hold on. One of the biggest facts I present damn near every show is that Trump has no evidence whatsoever that the election was stolen. I present that all the time.
Is that all we got, Tim?
That's huge. That's huge.
My dog don't even like you. He's even barking. He said, "White boy, be quiet." She wants to play with some squirrels. I'm fucking with you.
Okay. Right.
She's a lesbian. But anyways, let me tell you, Tim. Okay?
I'm a lesbian too. He is a lesbian. Well, shit, I'm a lesbian too.
Can I tell you on some real shit? Men can't lick the kitty cat. It's better than a woman. Women lick the kitty cat better. That's why I'm bisexual. Honest to God.
I don't believe that. You just met the wrong dudes. I don't believe that.
No. And you know, men. Never mind. I can't say that part because I'll get bananas. But let's get to the far left and the far right. I can't stand both their asses. The far left got our black woman out of office because they was racist. It's white tea people, okay? The pro-Palestine and all that bullshit. Because you know they quiet right now, right? They all quiet right now. Because why? Because the black woman ain't in office. They didn't give two F's about Palestine at all.
So you're saying the far left, which comprises of a lot of white Democrats, they're racist, and they stopped Kamala Harris from getting elected?
Yep. I don't like their asses neither.
You gotta.
And there was some black folks up in there too. Oh my gosh, they take AIPAC money and oh my god. No. So let me tell you something. It's not just me going after the maggots. I go after all their asses because they put us in this situation. If they would have listened to black women, we wouldn't have been in this situation.
Well, some would suggest that if Kamala Harris had won, we'd be worse off than we are now.
No. We wouldn't be in a WAR right now. Well, our gas prices wouldn't be going through the roof. It's going to be real bad. Do you realize the data centers right now is going to mess up our grid? Up in the East Coast, right? Up in the East Coast, 10 minutes, the electricity was flickering for 10 minutes. You know why? The Virginia data center. Yep. Donald Trump is destroying it. And you know another thing that hasn't made the news a lot? Do you know what list we're on? Do you know what list we're on right now?
What list?
You know, the human rights list. Yep. We're with Russia, North Korea, and shit.
I believe that. I
don't
believe
like
that.
us.
Yeah. When you take in consideration,
They're not
hold on.
testing
When you
shit.
take in consideration,
They're not testing
wait,
shit.
hold on. When you
raccoon.
take into consideration stuff that they've done to Alligator Alcatraz, or the way they tried to do Kilmar Borrego Garcia, deport them to Africa, sending folks to CCOT. Yeah, I can see why we're on the human rights list. We are treating people.
And guess what?
Yeah, I can
what
see
the
that.
Trump administration did? Approved 2 cancer poisons to spray on our fucking food.
Why do you think Trump done all of that stuff?
Because he don't give a fuck about us.
Yeah, but it's
It's
one.
all about the money. The
I mean,
billionaires.
I may not give a fuck. Hold on, I may not give a fuck about my neighbor, but I'm not going to try to deliberately hurt them.
He don't care about us. He don't give a damn about us.
Yeah, but that ain't.
And
It's
the maggots are so far up a billionaire's ass. What has he passed? One bill that helped us? Nothing. Nothing.
well. How about this
Yes,
one?
nothing.
You got a dissenter that normally is a fan. In the comments, Alberto Santos Dumont says, I usually love Gangsta Grandma, but her talking trash on the pro-Palestinian people broke my heart. AIPAC corruption is horrendous. So he's suggesting that you got the wrong, your animus is toward the wrong group of people.
He needs to go get educated. They was attacking the wrong people. They was attacking her when she was trying to stop it. When she called for a ceasefire. But no. They was kissing his ass. The one person that didn't give 2 fucks about them.
Kissing whose ass? Kissing whose ass? Who?
Donald Trump's ass. Oh, no.
No.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they was. They wasn't out there protesting against Donald Trump. No, they wasn't. They was at her rallies, talking shit to them, to her rallies. Oh, yes. And Genocide Joe. Oh, yes. So fuck him.
Well,
But when you do that shit against the wrong people, the ones that wanted to help them, and even Palestine people said, get her elected, we want her, and you guys didn't give a damn about them.
well, they were not. Well,
You wanted the white man.
well, they were not protesting Trump, and they were protesting Biden, saying Genocide Joe has got to
They
go.
were protesting Biden and her.
And I'm trying to explain it because they were in power. Trump was a citizen. Why would you go protest Trump when you think the people in power are the ones that are?
When he was running and going out for rallies, they could have protested.
Trump was not.
But they didn't.
Trump was not holding rallies saying he was going to let.
Yes, he was.
Hold on, you're not here. You're just talking. Trump was not holding rallies saying he was going to let Netanyahu do anything more than what Biden was letting him do.
I don't give a damn, but he was still in the rallies, Tim. They could have still went over there and protested, but they didn't, though. They didn't.
They
went to hers, they went to Biden's, and everything else. So what are you talking about?
Well,
They're against us.
Magariak says Trump has nothing to do with the Palestine war.
For real? That's
what
why
he
he was
said.
making AI videos and saying they're going to put it on gold and put hotels and shit. What the hell?
Yeah. I don't disagree with that part. But I understand why they were protesting Biden. He was in power.
The ceasefire. She wanted the ceasefire. She called for a ceasefire.
Well,
Biden was holding off. Biden had that damn name. He was holding them off. He wasn't giving them boom booms.
well,
When he got in office, when this fool got in office, he let him have the boom boom.
well, this goes back to what I've been saying is that Trump, the messaging was just better coming from Trump. That's why I keep saying Kamala Harris was not a good candidate.
She was a good candidate. She just didn't have enough time.
Well, I mean,
This place so the United States is so racist. They would never.
You
never
think Kamala Harris, her losing, you think racism is the reason behind that?
Yes, it really was. Misogyny and racism. Yep.
I mean, there may be some of that,
Let me tell you something. The Palestine people was begging them to go get her in office. They told them it was her that they wanted in office. They liked her. They didn't even listen to them.
Well,
they didn't even listen to them.
Well,
so yeah, and I swear to God, I honestly God think the little trillionaire has something to do with the election, because when he got on that stage, Donald Trump said, "I got a little secret, and if it would got out, we'll all be going to jail." He did. He said that.
You talking about Elon Musk?
Yep. So I think he did something to the election, honestly.
What do you think Elon Musk would have done? And I see the Bake Boss says stop spreading information. Bake Boss says stop spreading misinformation, says Bake Boss.
I wasn't. Go look it up. He said it. He said it. Go look it up.
Well,
go look it up.
He's your president.
I don't have to lie to kick it.
He's your.
I'm not like Ted. I'm not like Ted that spread shit. I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. He said out of his own fucking mouth. If I didn't hear him say it, then I wouldn't have said it. But he did say it. He did, on God. Go look the shit up.
Well, he's your president for the next 2 years. In the comments, didn't Cal, you make a good point. He is your president. If somebody from France says, hold on, it ain't got shit.
I'm not like you. I'm not gonna kiss his ass.
If somebody from France asks you, who is y'all president over there right now, what would you say?
Spoiled milk biscuit.
What is his name? What is his name?
I'll never say his name like that. He's spoiled milk biscuit.
You make it sound like you're just hating.
I hate. I do. I'm not like you. I'm not gonna kiss his ass. I hate that man. I do.
Well, speaking of
he spelled myth. All he has done to this country is destroy this country. We're on a list that we've never been on.
Yeah.
We're on a list that we've never been on. Our gases will go through the roof.
How about this
we have no. Do you realize our weapons are dangerously fucking low? That something will come over here and boom the hell out of us?
How about this one?
Comprehend what he's doing to our country?
No, it remains to be seen. But how about this? In regards to Kamala Harris, in the comments, Joe Mac 4100 said the Democrats should have had a primary. Do you agree with that? That as opposed to just giving the road do you agree with it though?
Let's break this shit down again, Tim. When we voted for Joe Biden, we voted for her. If the vice president steps down, she automatically steps up. You dum-dums, go get educated. We did not need a primary. We already voted for her.
Do you believe if they did have a primary though, she would have won?
Yeah, because everybody wanted her.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they hating on you. They hating on you. I don't know if
they are. I haven't said nothing. I have not said nothing.
We got to move.
This is why I can't stand I cannot stand this shit. Because we have so many uneducated morons in the United States that make me physically sick. From the far left that voted because they thought these motherfuckers was going to do worse. Then we already got the worst of the worst and screwed us in the end.
No.
To the far right that hate us for our fucking skin. Go fucking figure.
Well, there's plenty of people that agree with that. I got to move it on, though.
Let me tell you something,
Real quick.
Tim.
Real quick.
Let me tell you something, Tim. The far left and the far right, they're both maggots. The blue maggots.
What?
The blue maggots.
You crazy.
The blue maggots, yes. Because they didn't give a fuck about black and brown people. You know what they wanted? They wanted a so-called protest vote. All because of all this bullshit. But they fucked us. They fucked us hard. Now look at the country. Our weapons will go way down. We're on a fucking list that we should never been on. We are hated around the fucking world. They think we're a joke.
I disagree with your claim that the far left are MAGA. I disagree with you.
If you think our gas prices are bad now, just wait for a couple more weeks. Wait for a couple more weeks. It's going to go through the damn roof. Our food prices are in hell. But Joe Biden was a genocide, right? Look at this shit. black women. This country is so anti-fucking black, it makes me sick. So fuck the far left and fuck the far right. How about that? And I'm saying it for both of them. So fuck the man that said, he said, like, fuck you. You put us in this situation because you didn't vote fucking her.
I'll leave it at that. Gangsta Grandma, thank you very much. And I will say, listen, folks voted for who they thought would be best at running the country. I don't subscribe to what my last caller was saying, because I do believe, like my first caller on the show was saying, that he voted for Trump 3 times and he's incredibly disappointed with Trump now. I mean, Trump promised a lot of good shit. I'm not gonna hate on people that fell for it. I mean, look, it ain't that Trump made no sense, you know, and you came across as dumb for voting for Trump. No, Trump promised a whole lot of stuff that is exactly 180 degrees of what he is delivering. So I totally understand why people voted for Trump. Yeah, maybe there's some people in there that voted due to sexism and racism too. I don't disagree with that part. But there are a lot of folks that voted for Trump that were not racist, not sexist. And they wanted the economy. They wanted the gas prices. They wanted to get to the bottom of the Epstein list. They wanted to end the Ukraine-Russian war. They wanted to get us out of forever wars. Trump promised a lot of stuff that he apparently had no intentions of delivering on. But I can't totally fault the people for believing him, because his first term is so different than his second term is. But he did lead folks to believe he was going to do a lot of things that he is not doing. So I can't totally fault him for that. In the comments, Denkow says Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem. Hey, what was it in Tel Aviv? That is true, against advice. That is true. Trump did do that as a show of support for the Israelis. He did do that. That is true. And that caused a lot of ruckus in itself. In the comments, I like how foreigners think they have a pot in U.S. fire. A lot of times they do, Jerry. They actually do. Who said that? Leroy said that. Said, I like how foreigners think they have a pot in U.S. fire. Yeah, they do. And I remember when I used to live in Australia, I used to joke and tell folks I knew over there like that, is that we don't need to, like, you guys, I used to tell them, you guys know who our president is, our vice president. You know all about our politics. You know a lot about our history. Most Americans don't know shit about what's going on in Australia. And I would tell them, I said, it's because we don't need to know what you're doing. You're doing what we tell you to. If we go to war, you're going to. So the idea that, you know, people think they got a partner, they do. They absolutely do. This is probably the first time with President Trump that we've went to war and our allies didn't come and help us because of how he did it. But normally when America gets involved in a conflict, those other countries are involved, our allies are involved in that conflict as well. The problem with Trump is he treated our allies like they were the enemies first, then he went to war with Iran. So Trump is leading in a different way for America. What he is doing is ostracizing our enemies and our allies. But normally, yeah, they do have a pot in our fire because if we go to war, they do too. And they also become targets from our enemies. So America is wild. Everything that happens here is like some movie plot. I think that's going to change, though. The real topper, I think that's going to change. I think that under Trump, you're going to start having a lot of countries separating themselves from America because Trump has shown what can happen if America elects a non-traditional president and just started breaking treaties and treating them like shit. So I think that they're going to start finding ways to defend themselves, ways to, you know, alternatives to purchasing their crops and purchasing goods. They're going to depend on, I won't even say depend on America. They're not going to, you know, they say diversify your portfolio. That's what our allies are going to start doing. They're not going to allow America to take the lead in a lot of different avenues anymore because President Trump has shown how vulnerable that makes them. All you need is one bad president in the United States, and all of this power we've given the United States can be used against us. So I think after Trump, America's going to, we're still going to be a superpower, but we're going to be a weaker superpower in terms of our allies and things like that. It's not going to be as easy to just get them to follow along with us anymore. If they got any ounce of brains, they wouldn't do that. I know I wouldn't. After Trump, I wouldn't just follow the United States anymore. Looking in the comments, I'm not from here, but America is real. But you are right. The line is thin. Yeah. Well, let me know where you're from there, real topper. I'd love to know. We had COVID, laughed my ass off. Yeah, Democrats mad that we proved it was China and Fauci's fault. The Democrats tried so hard to hide that. Well, part of that, I agree that it came from China. It wasn't that the Democrats disagreed with that. It was the calling it the Kung Flu virus and all this other racist shit. And in regards to saying that it was Fauci's fault, I'm going to tell you, I don't buy into the notion that the head of any federal department can be fucking up and the president gets no responsibility for it. That's a MAGA belief. If you're the head of any federal agency and you remain the head of that agency, the president of the United States has to take blame because that's who appoints the head of various agencies. You say what you want to say about Fauci. He should not have had, if he was as bad as MAGA and Trump says, he shouldn't have been allowed to do what he did the whole time. There's no reason Trump should be on TV with him every day, letting them give instructions about how to wash your groceries and social distance and shit. And then Trump going to rallies at night and his own supporters are yelling, fire Dr. Fauci. And he's letting them walk away from the rally believing that Fauci's going to get fired. Then he's back on TV with Fauci and the next day letting Fauci advise the public again. And then a couple of days later, he's back at a rally letting them yell, fire Dr. Fauci. How does Trump not get blamed in any of that? I don't buy into that. Same thing with Trump's taxes leaking from the IRS while Trump is in control of the country. The election allegedly being fraudulent or stolen while Trump is head of the country. All of these fuck-ups are happening while he's the president, and we're not giving him any sort of blame for that, any accountability at all. We're going to the agencies under him. That ain't how things are done. If you're the coach of a team and your quarterback is fucking up and you keep putting them on the field, at some point as a coach, you're responsible for that. You don't get to lose and have a losing season as a coach and give a press conference on how the quarterback sucked. No, you need to be fired. And I don't agree with that. So the idea that Trump gets no credit while his agencies are doing poorly, no, you can miss me with that. That's you're appointing these people to lead these agencies. If they don't know what they're doing, get rid of them. Put in people that do know what they're doing. We just had Tulsi Gabbard not long ago say that Iran was not developing a nuclear bomb. Trump said they were, and they were going to use it on us if they got it. Okay, so the head of your intelligence agency, according to you, missed something that could have resulted in annihilation of all of us. You're saying that you found out they were about to get a bomb and use it on us. The head of your intelligence agency said they were not even getting a bomb at all. Why didn't you fire her? Once again, another person that you're suggesting was incompetent, and you just let these people keep working for you. How is he not getting any blame for that? Let me go back to the box. So go to Tada. Good evening, welcome to the program. Question, what channel was MAGA watching when the orange man was talking about UV lights and bleach to get rid of COVID? They kind of tuned that one out, asking, could you use disinfectant? They kind of tuned that one out, but you are correct. But that's my point is that, and I don't know what happened to my last guest. We'll bring up another one. By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, I need you to smash that like button, help out the algorithm. And thank you, Angela Law Jackson. Yeah, Angela. He did say the recommendation or a question whether you could use disinfectant. But I don't get how he doesn't get credit for what his agencies below him are doing. Knowing damn well if this happened under Biden or Kamala or Obama, we would blame those agencies. MAGA reacts, I need you to explain that to me. Good evening.
Tim, you're going to give me a comment to this, aren't you?
By asking you, why do head of federal agencies under Trump get the fuck up, not get fired, and Trump get no accountability?
Well, in the first term, he fired a certain FBI head of the FBI, and what happened? He got a private he got 2 years of Russian investigation into him.
Okay, that can happen. That can happen.
And on top of that, one, he had no evidence. Every time he does anything, like, oh, he's got no evidence. He's got no evidence to fire Fauci. And then, did you
don't need any
in the diary, in Fauci's diary?
You don't need any. You and I had a huge argument. You and I had a huge argument. You don't need it. You don't need any evidence. You and I had a huge argument. Last time we talked about how he's firing. Hold on. You and I had a huge argument last time we talked about how Trump has fired all these DEI people while presenting no evidence at all. Why can't you get rid of Fauci?
That's this administration. The first one, he did it because he was afraid that he was going to get investigated.
That doesn't matter.
The first time, and he corrected it the second time.
It doesn't matter if you're being afraid to do your job is not an excuse for not doing your job. I was afraid. That's the answer you're giving me.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not
a lot of shit came from firing Comey. I don't know what to tell you, but did you read that fucking?
Then step down.
Did you read that diary?
Then step down.
And just because he did it in the second term doesn't change things in the first term. He didn't do it in the first term.
My point is...
Just answer my question. Did you read all the shit that came out in the diary today, in Fauci's diary?
No, I didn't.
Basically, a lot of shit came out that he basically knew that it came from a lab, and he gave people federal grants to fucking basically change their answer and say it didn't. And he basically kept it secret.
Trump was like totally
there was no evidence, and the evidence came out. Fauci did everything in his power to keep it secret. And then he also talked about having dinner with Jake Tapper while all this shit's happening.
How did they get access? Wait a minute. How did they get access to his? How did they get access to his diary?
I don't know, but they just released it. It's all over the fucking news. I'm surprised you didn't fucking see anything about it.
No, because today I didn't watch
all the secret shit that he was doing.
I don't even know if you can.
And all the shit that proves that he should be in jail, but we can't do anything to him because fucking Biden pardoned him.
I don't even know if you can actually use that as any kind of evidence, like somebody's diary.
I think it's like maybe an official diary, but it had a bunch of shit in it that you could easily prove because you can see the record where he gives these people grants to basically hide the fact that this virus was found in a lab. And
you know what would be awesome? You know what would be awesome is if we still had attorney generals that could then go in and pull up all of his records and everything else. But literally the people that are supposed to be looking into this got fired within the first week. So, boo-hoo? I don't understand what the problem is.
What do you mean they didn't look into it? That's why they got fired.
Oh my God.
And then this shit was released by people looking into it. How do you think we got this diary from?
Bro, you're trying to get rid of the detectives, and then you keep wondering why murder rates don't get solved. What are you talking about,
First of all,
bro?
the FBI are detectives. The fucking DOJ is more like a prosecutor. Not quite.
Do you not understand what an attorney general does?
I mean, they more prosecute once the investigation is done by the FBI. They assist in the...
He's busy using it.
Tricky, but the detective job is more the FBI than the DOJ.
Well, I know what he's doing with Pam Bondi is not what an attorney. What he was doing with her. That's not what an attorney general does. Is using her as a weapon to go after his adversaries.
Generals. I got that one wrong. Do you know what the inspector generals are supposed to do? I said that one wrong.
Oh, that's a whole different fucking job.
Yeah,
they go
that's
over
what I'm saying.
everything
That
that's
job's
done.
important. Do you know what it does?
Yeah, they review things after it's all done and to see if everyone did their job right and if anyone did anything wrong. But by the time they fucking come in, it's way too late.
I don't think you're right on that one, my friend.
I can't
speak on it. 2 years of Russia, then another year before the inspector fucking general even looked into the Russian collusion. And even then, by the time they found anything, Trump's fucking term was done, the first term.
Okay.
I
disagree with you, but let's say that timeline is accurate and they don't do very much. Don't we still want to have the official
I didn't say they didn't do much. I say by the time they do their thing,
let me talk?
It's not too late.
Not interrupt me, because I didn't interrupt you very much here.
Go ahead. But I just want to correct you before you reply to something that I didn't say.
Wouldn't it be good to have the official report of the people that can go to all of the different departments that then collate everything together in a ideally nonpartisan way? But we've just eliminated that position. So What is the solution? Because all I'm ever seeing is more corruption, and you never have an answer for this.
I mean, I think we still have fucking what are they called again?
Inspector Generals.
I think we still have Inspector Generals. I really doubt they fired them all.
If they didn't fire them all, they
we still have the FBI and DOJ to look at this shit.
We got rid of the IRS people, and then we wonder why we have deficits.
JPT Farm.
This all seems to be working in reverse. So what's the answer?
Yeah. When we hired all the IRS people,
We needed those people. We needed them. They weren't going after people door to door. They were just there to process the returns faster and actually be able to look into more people. But they weren't there to go to door to take people's homes. They were just there because we haven't had an efficient system in 20, 50 years, whatever it's actually been. But we needed more people in there, and then you guys said no. So what's the answer to make things work better? Because I'm not hearing it from Trump.
I don't know. I don't know the answer either. But either way,
stop breaking my country,
there after
fucking asshole.
Did you hear what he said? You are. When you're firing so many people that when you finally need those people, there's not enough people around. He is breaking the country.
The Inspector General didn't find shit about COVID. It wasn't the Inspector General that released.
MAGA, you know what he means. You know what he means.
Some random congressman.
You know what he means. You know what he means. There's been evidence that they fired too many FAA. They fired too many nuclear scientists. What he's saying is you are breaking the fucking country. The CDC, you don't fire too many people here. You're firing too many people to run the country. The Department of Education, we're going to have nightmares from that. The EPA, you are getting rid of, that's what he's talking about. You guys are breaking the country.
And then we
I don't think they fired anybody in the FAA.
No, that was
it was underpassed when they
Yeah, you did. They did fire people in the FAA.
This country, my friend.
I think they fired the head of it, but not employees.
And it's pretty sad. That's why everyone calls you out on this app here. Every single person here. The only person you have is Gen X. And that's really fucking sad. So you get so hyped up.
You guys are all on the other side and don't understand half what I'm
every
saying.
single time. And you're never right. Never right. You get all in your feelings, and then you don't care about the facts, like how we got rid of the Inspector Generals.
Okay,
Like
we got
rid of the
what was the
IRS.
results? How did that change things? What did the Inspector
Nothing gets
Generals
done.
do before that they're not doing now?
We didn't get the border bill happening. Then we don't get the asylum processes going faster, so we can actually get rid of the backlog, so we can deal with the people coming in tomorrow instead of dealing with people who came in 10 years ago. So when we want to fix the system
anyone
and actually have it work, and you assholes come in here and just go, no, you're bringing in FD.
And MAGA.
You're bringing in all these things. You're destroying the country. And we're just saying, no, we want to get rid of the backlog.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure our food is safe. And we want to make sure
What do you mean you want to get every time?
And you guys just go, nah, let's
get asylum, and I tries to fucking deport them. You guys yell, oh, you guys are deporting grandma. Grandma
They
didn't get
are
her
right
fucking
now,
asylum
you
approved.
dumbass. But they are deporting grandma right now.
Yeah.
When they didn't do that
Because
before,
he
when
got,
they weren't
he got
just
an order to
ripping
be
into people's
deported
houses.
by the fucking same people you're talking about that we didn't fucking hire or hire.
No, you're just an asshole, man. And you don't care about
the fucking asylum judge that's been there for fucking 20 years, denied her asylum,
You
and
messaged
I
me
fucking
about debating.
deport them. How are we the asshole for following his order?
You messaged me about debating, and I refuse to debate you because you do this. So for all the
Because
world,
I do what? What have I done? I answered your
don't
question.
argue in good
Stupid
faith.
question.
You don't argue in good faith. You never do. And when people bring evidence,
No, I don't.
like we have
Your
always
idea of
done.
arguing in good faith is me agreeing with everything you say. That's
No,
not
I bring
arguing in
up
good
facts,
faith. That's
and
not.
then you jump back to.
Well,
No, you don't.
let me interrupt. Hold on. Let me interrupt to say this. Let me interrupt to say. Hold on, Magariax. Magariax, do you disagree with him that they are deporting grandma? Do you disagree with Sherbert in MAGA? Do you disagree with Sherbert in the point he made that they are deporting grandmas?
Yeah, but these are grandmas that were processed and their asylum got denied. They have an order to be removed.
Yeah, their asylum was going. Hold on, their asylum. No, you're interrupting. You didn't. You're just rambling on. The point I'm making is those grandmas had a legitimate asylum case. They had legitimate cases for green card. All of that stuff. They were seeking residency. All their cases were going through the system under Biden and previous presidents. Trump came along and said, "No, we're gonna cut it here and deport you." These people were going. That's why they got a lot of them from courtrooms and shit.
Pulling them from the courtrooms.
After the judge, who has nothing to do with Trump, denied their
That's not true. It's not true.
And so, can you not understand the inhumanity that they're doing when people are doing the right thing, running through the system, and they're getting pulled out of the lobby before they can even hit the courtroom? Do you understand why I'm so mad at that?
But that's happening because their asylum got denied.
They were in because they had a court case that day. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they had a court case. The asylum got denied, and then they got deported. That's usually how it goes. But the only part you guys fucking highlight is like, oh, he deported his grandma. Grandma got her asylum denied.
I literally just brought up a situation, and you went back to grandma.
Also, this is the problem I have with you guys. We're talking about one thing. You come up here, change the subject, bring up some facts that have nothing to do with the original thing we're talking about.
But
and you're like, oh, you don't believe my facts. Your fact has nothing to do with Fauci and fucking CV19 and all the shit we started this conversation started about.
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Random facts.
4 minutes.
Topic
isn't debating the original topic.
Years. No, I understand this more than you, and you were bad faith, and so I can go to multiple things and still be right with actual facts, like how Fauci ran gain-of-function research in Wuhan for like 10 years. We know that. If it's in his diary, it doesn't really fucking matter because we already know that.
So he paid for the virus that leaked. Yeah, he kept that hidden.
We also
it came from a market.
People from malaria, and we're not really doing much of that now. It's part of the process that we make those viruses strong to then kill off the weak ones in nature. That's how research works.
In his diary, it clearly says that the thing came from a lab, and the fucking fish market only made it worse. But it originally didn't come from the fish market, and they have proof of that. They fucking lied about it. So we know he lied.
Cool. Governments lie, man. Have you listened to Trump? They're taking people off of the victim list. They're out in Iran. What are you talking about? This is a nothing burger, and you get so mad.
Nothing for it. More people died from CV19 than the
Shut
Iran
the
war.
fuck up. This is a nothing burger, and you know it. We're talking about his diary. You want to talk about Joe Biden's daughter's diary too?
2 minutes.
This is actual fucking things that have been proven at this point.
Nothing.
And now we know that they lied. They lied to you about fucking that. They lied to you about Biden's health. They lied to you about every fucking thing.
I know they all
You guys
lie.
bitch about Trump's fucking bullshit lies.
Yeah,
and they lied
because
to
he
you about
has
real
bad
things.
What do you mean Trump bullshit? Trump ain't. Some of the last Trump
Because
said.
he'll be like, he'll do a motivational thing like, oh, we have a good economy, we have a hot economy, and you're like, no, he's lying, our economy's not hot. He's just trying to fucking be a cheerleader, and you guys make it like he fucking lied to us, and the economy's fucking, about to collapse, and we're all about to be homeless.
Either the economy is hot or it's not.
We're gonna fucking hopefully eliminate the fucking virus in 2 weeks if we stay home. Oh, he lied. In 2 weeks, the virus is still there.
Either the economy is hot or it's not. I don't want to hear you're describing lies as being a cheerleader. If what you're saying is not true, I mean, he's been a cheerleader for the war since it began. That stuff is not true, though. I don't care if you're trying to give a positive swing to it.
We thought it ended 2 months ago. He's a cheerleader for the war because he wants it to end. He wants Iran to be defeated, and you're here.
People want MAGA.
You literally just admitted the Democrats were on Iran's side.
People want him to do exactly what they voted him for. He shoots straight from the hip. Tell us the fucking truth. Don't cheerlead, as you're calling it, and tell us stuff that's not true so it sounds positive. Nobody wants that. If you ask the average MAGA, do you want Trump to be honest with you, or do you want him to give a positive swing to everything he tells you? Most MAGA would say, I want him to be honest.
I mean, first of all, this is predicting the future. And at a certain point, he did get a peace deal. It just didn't fucking last because the Iranians got butthurt and they fired on ships.
Sherbert, I give
you... MAGA, shut the fuck up for a second. You're just rambling. You keep going on about we're predicting the future. And then...
No, you're mad at him for not predicting the future the way he wanted it.
Let me talk.
His time is up. Let him finish up, MAGA. Go ahead, Sherbert.
You talk about that we're predicting the future, and then almost every time we are very correct about that. And so You've got almost 2 years up, and everything we've predicted is coming true, and there has been no accountability and no transparency on anything. So you personally seem to go off of a lot of what people say. I like to go off of what the metrics are telling us, and about what the actions and results.
I go off metrics too. I show you guys inflation.
Sherbert,
and all the metrics.
appreciate it, Sherbert. Thanks for coming up.
Understand them half the time.
All right, now here's the thing I want to say. This cheerleading shit. Just be honest with the people, especially if you're cheerleading and saying stuff that's turning out not to be true or not happening. That ain't cheerleading. That's lying. Like Iran has been begging for a ceasefire since day one. That is a lie. I don't think anybody believes that at this point. That is just lying. And he said it again during the White House Correspondents' Dinner the other day. He keeps saying that. And Iran immediately released a statement because he said after 13 straight days of bombing Iran, we stopped because Iran came forward and they're trying to seek a deal. The Iranian government just released a statement saying, we're not in talks with America. So once again, he just lied again the other fucking day. Don't cheerlead if people, at some point, people know you're lying. Is that what you want him to do, is just keep giving you a positive spin?
Yes, as long as it keeps oil prices down and gas prices down, because I don't want people to panic. I don't want the fucking grocery stores to run out of toilet paper again. I don't want fucking all the food to be gone. I don't want the oil prices to fucking skyrocket. There's positive benefits to this fucking cheerleading. Why do we have cheerleaders in a fucking football game? Because that shit works.
They don't.
Get rid of cheerleaders. If it doesn't work, get rid of cheerleaders and be like,
MAGA, people are dying. This is not a football game. People are losing their fortunes
the concept works.
Football.
Less people are dying because he's keeping our costs down by being a cheerleader and not by, a lot of the fucking price of things is speculation.
Cheerleader.
So if he's as negative as you guys want him to be, our fucking market's gonna go to shit.
He's a cheerleader.
I mean, if he listened to you guys, COVID would have been a lot worse. This war would be a lot worse. I'm happy he doesn't fucking listen to you guys.
All right, well, we got to move.
I see it. My fucking account's going to get fucking banned.
We'll move it on. We'll move it on. I'll let you go and finish cheerleading the game. MAGA, thanks for coming through. Said a cheerleader. That's why they have cheerleaders in football. I'll give you a couple pushbacks on this, though, and tap the screen. Help your boy out with the hat and mustache. God damn. In the comments here real quick, Handsome Conservative made a point. He said it's funny you think presidents, Democrat or Republican, don't normally lie to the people. So he's clearing up the cheerleading comment and kind of suggesting once again what I keep talking about that the folks on the right are using to defend Trump, which is they all do it. Both sides argument. Here's why Trump gets criticism for this stuff, even if other presidents do it. You can't be going around saying lying Ted Cruz and he opens his mouth, he lies. And then you get in office and you do the same damn thing. That's the difference. Is Trump ran on a campaign of, I'm going to be better than what you're used to. I'm not going to do what you've gotten used to. I'm not going to be a typical politician. I'm going to drain the swamp that is known as Washington. So once he gets in there and starts doing the same shit, you can't use the argument they all do it. This guy campaigned on not doing that stuff. And over and over again, MAGA keeps defending him by saying, well, they all do it. It happens on both sides. So in other words, you just fell for all this bullshit. He's at the end of the day, he's no better than anyone else. He was going to be a non-typical politician, was going to drain the swamp, expose the deep state. And now that he's failing at all of that, well, they kind of all do that. I mean, wouldn't that be kind of like just basically admitting that Trump is a failure? That's what that would be, because folks voted Trump because they wanted something different. They were tired of the norm. So anytime you respond with, both sides do it, then you're basically saying, no, he's just a normal guy like everybody else. So he basically failed you. Capitalism funds all the socialism programs. I don't believe that's true, because the way you guys make it sound like all these socialist countries out there, they don't have capitalism. I'll tell you right off the bat, I don't think you guys on the right know what capitalism or communism rather. I don't think you guys even know what communism or socialism even is. You guys just use it when you want to defame somebody. Because you guys swore up and down that Obama was a socialist. And after 8 years of Obama, America didn't come close to being a socialist country. No small business owner had Obama come in and say the government wants to own your business. I mean, all of that, Obama's a socialist stuff was fear-mongering. 100% of it was. We didn't come close. If you wanted to open up a business under Obama, you could do that. There's nothing you could do under Bush, capitalism-wise, that you likely couldn't do under Obama, other than he finagled with the healthcare system to give folks that didn't have healthcare. Other than that, if you're a businessman and you're successful under George W. Bush, you could have done the same success under Obama. Wasn't close to being a socialist country. And now you guys are trying to say that the left is doing it again. You're going right back to that same language again after being completely wrong on Obama. Work your ass off and tell me you make a great living. I don't know what that means because there's a lot of folks slanging and banging that work their ass off and they don't make a great living. There's a lot of people who work 60, 80 hours a week, hard jobs, and they're not making much money. So hard work does not guarantee you shit. Hard work don't even guarantee you're going to get to keep your job. Your corporation may just fire you or lay you off because it's cheaper to build a corporation or it's cheaper to build a branch office in another location. Hard work don't guarantee you shit in America. So all it does is it pleases the company for a short period of time, but it don't guarantee you anything. Clapper censors my text so I can only type like 100 words. I don't know why it's doing that, slanging, but I'll continue on with the program. In the comments here, y'all crazy if you think oil companies are not manipulating the market. Saudi just lost Saudi Arabia just had one of its major production facilities blown up by the Iranians. But yeah, there's a ton of market manipulation taking place. I agree with you. President Trump is doing that. President Trump is doing that with tariffs and announcing, now he's got this deal where you can pay money to get access to his social media posts a few seconds before everybody else. Trump is manipulating the shit out of the market. Trump is doing that. So yeah, there's a lot of market manipulation happening. He could always fire, demote executive branch employees. That is true, and they don't want to buy into that, didn't Cal? They don't want to believe that. As opposed to blaming everybody that's part of your administration, why aren't you getting rid of them? You know, if Fauci did such a poor job or Tulsi Gabbard didn't know they had a nuclear bomb, why didn't you get rid of them? Trump has the ability to appoint people, and when they do a bad job, say it ain't none of my responsibility, it's the responsibility of the person I appointed. No, the only reason they're there is you gave them the job. In the comments, tap the screen. We'll go to the next caller. Get us on up to 60,000, if you will. Deregulate, said we the rebel. I'm not a fan totally because I think deregulation is kind of why capitalism in this country has run amok so bad. I mean, we have been deregulating shit a lot in many areas, and salaries, all types of stuff is going down. Safety for employees in many areas. Deregulation is not always the answer. The Palestine railroad fire in Ohio, Palestine, Ohio, where they only had 2 engineers on this train with all this toxic chemicals. Some say that deregulation is what caused that, because you would normally have more manpower on that train. They snatched up a nun, for Christ's sakes. Who did that? Who snatched a nun? Didn't Cal? I haven't heard that. And then the judge said, nope, get the fuck out since we're the rep. Yeah, and I wanted to respond to that. That came from a handsome conservative says that was grandma here illegally. A lot of the people, and thank you for that, conservative, the beautiful television set. Trump ran a campaign on getting rid of rapists and murderers, not grandma. That is something that changed once Trump got elected. There is no way in hell President Trump would have won the Venezuelan and Cuban vote if he actually told the Cubans, once I win, TPS, temporary protected status for future Cubanos like you that came over here the same way you did, we're going to get rid of that. He would not have won the Cuban vote doing that. He would not have won the Venezuelan vote doing that. He made it sound like his job was to get rid of rapists, murderers, and felons. Not everybody. Not people who, look, we're going to send ICE to track down grandma. I heard she's been in the country illegally since 1980. No, there's nothing else she did wrong, but when she came in 1980, that misdemeanor, we're going to hunt her down for that. No, he didn't campaign on that. He did not campaign on that. So, yes, she's here illegally, but that's not what he campaigned on doing. He didn't campaign on being that aggressive in regards to going after everybody that is here undocumented. Not to mention he's made people who are here legally become undocumented as well, such as the Haitian migrants. Him ending TPS has also made folks that are here legally suddenly become here illegally. Same thing with the asylum seekers. He removed a lot of legal paths to staying here and took it away. So there were a lot of people here legally, had court dates and stuff like that, going along the traditional path to remain here, and he just cut that path off. So it ain't that it's not that he's just getting rid of illegal immigrants. He is making illegal immigrants too. He is making people that are here legally suddenly become undocumented and illegal. So he's done a lot of that. I never heard that before. I believe he promised to get rid of people who are here illegally. No, there's no way. Like I said, there's no way the immigrant community would have voted for President Trump if he was up there campaigning and saying, if you've been here for 30 years, even if you have no crime, we're going to chase you down and get rid of you. There's no way he campaigned on doing it. They would not have voted him in if he was talking like that. Miss Mobetta, good evening.
Hey.
Welcome to the program.
Hey, Sam.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
So what brings you up this evening?
Yeah, because you got all these keyboard gangsters in the comments talking that shit, big boss, and y'all a bunch of pussies. Shut up.
What are you reading in the comments? What am I hearing that qualifies as a keyboard gangster?
He told what you call it, Tamar to show up to the crib.
Damn. You guys in the comments starting drama. Don't start drama in my comments. This is all friendly shit. You guys be friendly with each other. Don't start comments. Okay. So, did you hear the head of the DSA talking about the entire far left Democrat wish list? Have you heard the clip of she was talking about everything from defunding the police to defunding the Pentagon? Have you heard that?
No, I didn't.
I want you to.
I didn't.
I want you to hear this. I want to get your opinion on this.
Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay. Replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
There's
National
more. There's more.
Co-chair Megan Romer, co-chair of the Democratic Socialists of America, had a viral moment in a Fox News interview on Sunday. She was asked about some of the organization's more controversial stances, and she affirmed each of them as being truly part of the platform. Here was the rest of that exchange.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Defund the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is she trying to destroy the fucking country?
What the hell is she talking about?
She's the head of the DSA, so this is what is being pinned on the Democrat Party. And why anyone that leads the DSA would go on Fox News is insane. You know, their only purpose of Fox News is to trash the Democrat Party. Why anybody from that entity would go on Fox News? They need to get rid of this lady.
And y'all wonder why Kamala rejected a lot of interviews, because that's what they do. They would have picked apart anything that she said, whether it's true or false.
Yeah.
They would have picked apart anything that she had said, like they were doing to Obama.
But Kamala Harris is Kamala Harris is different. She is the she was running for president. That would be like, I wouldn't expect the leader of the Heritage Foundation, which to me is the right-wing version of the DSA. I wouldn't expect him to go on MS Now, but if you're running for president, you got to go talk to the people.
Yeah, that sounds like a decoy to me. That sounds, because to get up there and talk that foolishness, no, first of all, get rid of prisons, how are you going to get rid of all this stuff? Now, this is why I keep saying words matter, Tim. You understand what I'm saying?
This is a disaster.
That's not what you should have said. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be on your P's and Q's when you're sitting in front of the enemy, and knowing that they're going to pull you apart. You have to make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted.
But let me ask you, are the Democrats just not as smart as the Republican Party? For instance, I think I think most Democrats totally believe that the purpose of the right is to implement Project 2025. However, unlike this lady, no one who wants Project 2025 would go on MS Now or CNN and admit it. She actually went on television and did the exact. This would be the equivalent of somebody on the right like Steve Bannon or Flynn or somebody saying and actually reciting what they want from Project 2025.
It's crazy, and for the life of me, I don't know what her purpose is in getting up there and saying that stuff, because it is a blow, but it's not going to stop what's happening, because the Republicans are actually fighting against each other.
This don't help though. Yeah, but this don't. I agree with you, but this doesn't help.
It doesn't help, but it ain't cutting them off at the knees. You understand what I'm saying? So it's still room when it comes to stuff like that, and there's plenty of people that you're gonna have to change the channel. You're gonna have to go listen to somebody who actually talking with some sense, because that's just not it.
To me, at this point, every Democrat candidate needs to come forward and actually state, I have nothing to do with the DSA and I don't agree with them, because look, Mom Donnie is one thing, but Mom Donnie ain't talking about doing all the shit that lady just said doing. So at this point, they need to first of all, they need to get rid of that lady who is the co-chair of the DSA. Either get her to step down or make it clear that we're no longer going to be having any affiliation with the DSA whatsoever, because that clip is gold to the right.
Or have her clean up the shit that she said.
How can you?
There's ways to clean it up, but that shit was awful. I don't know.
I don't know. She said way too much. She said way too much.
And I'm only looking at the clip. I would have to go back and see the whole video in its entirety. But that what I just heard was just not it.
Yeah, I don't.
Because like you shooting your own self in the foot talking about that. But we know that like how they have rhinos, we have dinos too.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I see
we have them too.
Yeah, and I see in the comments, Cornelius has said Mom Donnie has a DSA card. Well, but I could point out that the Heritage Foundation wants Project 2025 to be implemented, and Trump has been on video at the Heritage Foundation raising money and everything. So that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking you, Ms. Mobetta. Are the right just more educated, because they don't let far right rhetoric stick to them like a lot of Democrats do?
I don't know if that makes them smart, or if the Democrats got to get their hands a little more dirty. Because when you're fighting against people who, right now, there's no guardrails when it comes to the far right, because they have a battery in office. They have Trump, which is the battery. Yeah. You see how he talked at that correspondence? Like, that's the battery that they have, to where they don't give a fuck of what happens. They're not worried about consequence. The Democrats worry too much about consequence. Oh, well, we can't say that because they display a little more moral than the right job.
Well, what she just said is terrible.
That was awful. But again, Jesus.
Yeah, what she just said is something they'll be using. Think about how long they've been using defund the police, or how long they've been using you don't know what a woman is. That video is gold for the right. They'll be using that well past the 2028 election.
Yeah, and it's stupid and it's a lie. They tried to set her up with that question about what is a woman. You want me to pull my clothes off to answer that question?
I don't know if it's a lie. That woman believes what she said.
Listen, y'all know, everybody know what a woman is. How people identify, that's their problem. You understand what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do. See, and this is the thing. They demonize the things that are least detrimental to the entire country. That you're worried about somebody not being able to define what a woman is. Then you got that Linda McMahon non-knowing shit ass up there talking about people are changing kids over without the parents knowing. That's lies. And what they do is they highlight those lies.
It
now,
works.
This is where it works on their behalf, because the people that actually follow that bullshit is not as smart. Their common denominator is they're slow as fuck, and they happen to be the majority.
Well,
so that's why they continue demonizing stuff that is least detrimental to anything that has to do with anybody else. We're not worried about people's sexuality. The LGBTQ are not harming our children. They're not doing the things that they say. Now they're gonna start going after Haitians and some people like that now, because Trump is the swamp.
You're saying that, but it's a difference between what you say and what people believe. People do believe the transgender and the LGBT community is harmful to children. People do believe that.
I know they believe that. You know why they do that? Because they're afraid those LGBTQ people are going to expose their ass. Did you see Hunter Biden's his thing about who's gay in the Republicans in the House? Stephen Miller, Mike Johnson. It was a whole alleged list of all of them gay, and they're afraid of being exposed. That's why they try to demonize those people.
I know it came out that Lindsey Graham allegedly, the guy who was, he claimed he was sleeping with Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, that they got a whole fuckboy shit going on, and y'all still worried about if somebody can define a woman?
Well,
Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
To me, I think two counter pushes. If you're going to say the Democrats can't define a woman, first of all, you guys can't define a victor in an election. And you can't, and it seems like you can't define a war either. I mean, so
exactly.
Yeah.
If they want to go there, that's the truth. Oh, it's not a war; it's a conflict. Anytime there is an exchange of any kind of force, it's a war. And whether it lasted a day or a million days, it's a war. It is what it is.
but I'm telling you that the right is just better at doing this stuff than the left is, because what the right is saying is sticking. What the right is saying is sticking. What the left is saying, that's not happening. So the right is doing a better job at it.
Listen, again, for the life of me, for them to follow themselves into ruin, it just, I don't know how they could do it. It's crazy. They want to do something. Release the rest of those Epstein files.
The Epstein files, you're never going to get that. Maybe the next administration, you're never going to get it. As long as Trump is alive, you ain't getting that.
Yeah, they want to talk about the Democrats are weak. Trump is weak as fuck. He's a trick. He's easily bought and sold.
He's a trick. A trick.
He's a trick. A trick.
I want to play something else for you before we run out of time. I played this earlier in the clip. This is Mom Donnie being questioned in regards to the upcoming memorial for the September 11th descendants.
People who are survivors of 9/11 are calling on you not to go to 9/11 memorial services. I wonder how you feel about the fact that they're trying to keep you away.
I will proudly honor the families, the survivors, the first responders forever impacted by that horrific terror attack by standing alongside them at this year's 9/11 commemoration, reaffirming that we will never forget the solemn day felt by all of us who call this city home, and frankly, by all of us who call this country home.
Why don't they want that man at the memorial in his own city?
they're so jealous. They're so jealous of Mom Donnie Taylor. They ain't even funny. They mad because he came out. He said he had a plan, and guess what? He acted on the plan. And his first 100 days in office, he's done more than Trump has done in his last and his alleged 4 years, 4 terms that he keeps talking about. The alleged 3 terms he talked about. He's done more in those 100 days, and they're jealous. And stuff like that threatened. People are threatened by success, of some real success, without having to steal it. They're threatened by that stuff.
Wow.
And the right season. Now you're mad because New York is doing well. So now y'all want to put out these lies. That's why you have so many people that don't live here talking all that shit. Because where they live, they probably are on the bread line. But they get on here and act like they doing so well. Knock it off. The man said he had a plan and he executed the plan. Trump been having concepts since he came down that golden elevator. We're still waiting on a healthcare plan from him that he has yet to produce.
Well, I mean, folks still believe that, despite some of Trump's misgivings, he still is a better representative of America than anything the Democrats have to offer.
Well, the devil is a lie. I keep telling you, Tim. You keep setting yourself up for it. I keep telling you, when the devil got kicked out of heaven, he took a third of the angels with him. Do the math.
Fair enough.
You do the math. So that's why they're gonna support him, because again, if you go back and look at all Trump has allegedly done, most of his shit is executive order.
Yeah.
It's all executive order. Who talked the most shit about executive orders? Him.
Yeah, that's what I was arguing with Handsome Conservative and some of the folks about, is that this guy campaigned on pointing out the worst in politics, and then he got elected and he became exactly what he pointed out. And their only defense is, well, they all do it. We already know they all do it. That's what he said he was going to stop from happening. Mm-hmm. So now that he's doing it too, we go back to they all are doing it, huh? So what do we need, another Trump to come along to fix this one?
Whoever goes in there, it's going to be such, they're going to have so much shit to clean up. Once Obama took over after Bush, he had to go around and set everything straight, which kept America at bay to where it wasn't costing us as much as it's costing us now, even though I know with time the prices and stuff change. However, we didn't have a bunch of enemies. You added tariffs to Canada, and we have free trade. Make that shit make sense. And they keep pretending like that the consumer is not paying for that. Where do they think that New York, Michigan, there's a few of these states that we get our energy from Canada sources? Guess what? The energy went up.
Well, I guess it's that they're not seeing.
Not paying a goddamn thing.
They're not seeing enough pain to believe the terrorists are hurting us just yet. Plus, you got Trump in the background saying that Trump is in the background saying that all of this stuff is working on our behalf and bringing us in gazillions of dollars, and so they're believing that, even though they're not seeing any evidence of it.
I would love to see it. Show me where all of that waste, fraud, and abuse money went. When he allowed Elon Musk to get up there and cut all of those jobs and all, they have yet to produce any of that stuff.
And you may never see it.
What is our deficit now? What is it up to?
I don't even know how many. It was 30-something last time.
I don't even have my laptop in front of me because I would.
Well, I would tell you this: even if you go online and research it, you can't even trust it right now from what they're giving you. So.
Because you see what he did. You see what they did with the soldiers, right? We had 18 soldiers.
They dropped it down to 14. They dropped it down to 14.
They only reported 14. They keep messing with the numbers. And see, the crazy thing is the people that were in place to keep this stuff balanced. That's why there's no checks and balances. They got rid of all of those people, so he can rob us blind.
Bro, you got to get some checks and balances in there, and then we'll get to the bottom of this. Miss Mobetta, I do got to move it on, but we gotta get folks in there that are not just loyal to President Trump.
You see how they was eating Pete Texas breath ass up the other day too.
Yes.
They was getting in his ass. They was digging in his ass.
Well, he's going to end up paying the price for it. Loyalty is going to cause all of them to end up paying the price, but that remains to be seen. Mr. Mobetta, thanks for coming through.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And yeah, she's right. Just blindly following along with Trump at your own risk. I suppose Trump don't promise a lot of folks pardons, but Trump is going to be okay. I don't think there's going to be any major level of accountability or anything like that for Trump. They gave him immunity. He's the president. He can pardon. Trump will be fine. But there are people that have been blindly following along with President Trump that are going to have to pay the price. Like they're talking about the changing the death total, the casualty toll, as my last caller was pointing out, from 18 dead in this war to 14. They called it a glitch. Does anybody believe that? This is what I mean when I'm saying just telling you lies to your face. Does anyone at all, and I'm talking even to my beloved MAGA, my folks that are supporting Trump, does anybody believe that they suddenly dropped the amount of lives lost in this war from 18 to 14 due to a glitch, but yet when asked why the number was now 14, they actually were able to orate a reason for why it dropped down to 14? They actually gave a legitimate sounding excuse. Well, this guy was over in Iraq. This person, I mean, they had an excuse in place. So the idea that it was a glitch makes no sense at all. Then how do you have a perfect way to orate why the number's 14 now, to justify why it's 14 if it was just a glitch? I mean, just a flat out lie. And what's really awful is you got grieving parents. They're doing that too. But they are trying to, MAGA React said it best earlier, Trump is a cheerleader. So one of the things that cheerleading might involve is not telling everybody how many people got killed. Remember, I want to cheerlead and make it look like things are better than they are. So maybe if you get killed, how about we don't tell them that for a few months? That, you go meet the parents of the deceased, the chaplain is on the porch. Listen, I know how this may not be the best time after what has happened to your son or daughter, but listen, for the sake of the country, how about we not tell anyone yet? Can you keep this quiet for a few months? That's what this sounds like. We don't want to let them know, we kind of want to cheerlead what's going on. Could you not let them know, we've given you the folded flag. You don't really have to display that publicly for a while, do you? Could you just to keep the country, intact? That's what it sounds like. That's cheerleading. It's crazy. That's all I'll say. It's crazy. Anyway, looking in the comments, tap the screen, get the likes on up to 80,000. We'll take the next caller. Help your boy out with the hat and mustache. TikTok cap goes dark, son. I agree with you. It's called a damn lie. It's not. Cheerleading is a really nice way to dress up what really is just a lie. And real quick, I played this at the beginning of it because we're talking about the difference between far left and far right rhetoric and why far left rhetoric seems to stick better on the liberals than far right rhetoric sticks on the Republicans. And make no mistake about it, there's a lot of far right rhetoric out there.
Pete Hegseth recently made headlines when he shared a CNN video on social media about the Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, an arch-conservative network of Christian congregations where he's a member. The video included its pastors arguing women should not have the right to vote.
I was very grateful to him for doing that. He didn't just repost it like, oh, here's an interesting thing that these weird people are doing. He reposted it, and he himself said, all of Christ for all of life, which is the tagline that we use. So he was, in effect, reposting it and saying amen at some level.
Pastor Doug Wilson.
So this guy is this is kind of like that DSA type shit. This man that's speaking here is Doug Wilson, Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches. So this is far right nationalism type shit. They don't believe a woman should have the right to vote. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth took a clip from something they said and reposted it out so that the world could see it. And they believe that Hegseth agrees with them based on his language. They believe he agrees with them. That's far-right rhetoric. That's far-right rhetoric. Yet this guy now is the Secretary of War. And this isn't the only thing. He also is on record saying that women shouldn't be in combat and things like that. That's Pete Hegseth. That's far-right rhetoric. So we can talk about this woman saying you want to defund the police and ICE and get rid of prisons and shit like that. This guy is talking about women shouldn't have the right to vote. Women should not have the right to vote. So, like I said, far-right rhetoric, fortunately for Trump and the Republicans, it just does not seem to stick like far-left rhetoric does to the Democrats. And it's not because the right don't want the shit to happen. Some kind of way it just doesn't stick to them. But the right absolutely want this stuff. They want these such as I've played clips where you got actual politicians serving in Senate and congressional houses and state offices saying that they want to pass legislation so that if a woman terminates the life of the unborn, she should qualify for the death penalty. That's far-right language. You don't really hear it being mentioned much in terms of having it stick to it. There are plenty of folks on the right that believe if a woman terminates the life of the unborn, she should qualify for the death penalty. I played the clip earlier of Trump talking about the Republicans should nationalize the elections in Democrat areas. That is really far to the right. You're going to take over the election in Democrat areas and put it in the hands of Republicans. Obviously, that's going to make for an unfair, biased election. But there's been more. Trump called for a Muslim ban on all Muslims coming into the country. There are suggestions that Trump discussed having the ability to kill immigrants entering the country illegally, actually seeking permission or finding out whether or not we would be legally allowed to execute folks entering the country illegally. Now, that's straight out of North Korea. Most countries on earth do not kill folks coming into the country illegally. That's really, really far right. That's really far right. Trump also indicated that he wanted to have a year in prison for flag burners. That's really far right shit. So I don't understand how the right doesn't end up having this stuff stick to them like the left does. So I give a shout out to the right because some kind of way they're able to dodge this stuff. Hanson Conservative says, but if women do not have the right to vote, then what becomes of the Democrat Party? What do you say? What are you saying? No women vote conservative? I mean, if first of all, let me rephrase your question, Handsome Conservative. You say if women do not have the right to vote, what becomes of the Democrat Party? I'll rephrase it by saying this. If women don't have the right to vote, what becomes of the women? Because they're going to be the biggest losers in that, not the Democrat Party. If women lose the right to vote, you're going to have men passing laws that are pro-man. Just imagine if all of the voters in this country were women. You bunch of feminists and things. You think they would be looking out for men in their legislation? It would be all nothing but pro-women laws being passed. Well, if men are the only ones that's voting, they're going to do the same thing. So, yeah, it ain't what'll happen to the Democrat Party, it's what'll happen to women. In the comments, they're already doing that, says Mr. Mobetta. Well, this is why I say the women need to speak up, because this can't happen without women letting it happen. Women need to speak out on behalf of their own rights. It's mostly conservative women, but there are women that believe that they should lose the right to vote. Stick, good evening.
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
Not much at all. So I'm going to ask you, why is it that far left rhetoric sticks to the left better than far right rhetoric sticks to the right?
Again, they say it more. They complain more. They're always telling everybody else you should leave the country, but yet they have the most complaints. If you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S. and you're complaining all the time, you can leave. Come back. Don't come back if you want to. But if you're not happy here, you can leave. That's them. However, they're the ones that's on the other side complaining.
Well, should the Democrats complain more? Because this stuff is hurting. You heard the clip I've been playing of this woman with her far left wish list? I mean, shit, what is she trying to do?
So this is the thing. The Democrats have already said everything that they could say. It's not poor messaging. It's not no poor candidate. It's hard-head, racist motherfuckers. Period.
What do you mean?
That's MAGA. That's the base.
Yeah, but that woman going on Fox and saying all that far left shit, that ain't got nothing to do with racism.
No. See, what you doing is you're trying to pander to goddamn and fluff, talking about the Democrats. I ain't gonna defend. Guess what I ain't gonna do? I ain't gonna defend something else somebody else is doing. What I am gonna point out is how they ass is over there fucking up. Whether it's him wanting to blame Pete Hegseth for what's going on with Iran, whether it's him wanting to blame Dr. Fauci when it comes down to the pandemic and how it was handled. Yeah, these are the things that they like to do. We go on a shutdown. Even though they can just motherfucking do the vote, guess what they said? Well, it's the Democrats' fault that we're on the shutdown. That's what they
do. And the left don't know how to stop that from happening. I mean, we got the Heritage Foundation out there with Project 2025 and all that.
We don't know how to stop people from being stupid.
You don't know how to, you do not know, the left does not know how to control the narrative is what I'm saying.
No, the left does the narrative just fine.
No,
what happens is you have people like MAGA Reacts that just make up motherfucking shit for no reason. Like trying to give you some falsified ass story to make it make sense. And then it makes no motherfucking sense when he explains it. So these are the fucking people that we gotta talk to every goddamn day. These are the people we gotta switch them over and make them see what we see. We gotta make them understand that Ms. Harris told you all of this shit when she was running. Everything that he's doing, he's systematically doing what Ms. Harris said, and that's why she wasn't a fucking bad candidate.
But I don't think
she was a realist. You want somebody that can lick your ass and lie to you at the same time. She was a realist. Look, if he gets in, this is what's going to happen. Oh, she's fear-mongering. And all the motherfuckers went out and voted. He got the popular vote. He got the electoral vote. And here we are.
You got a detractor in the comments. Bake Boss says, now we got Mr. Ebonics lecturing us versus lecturing us. Get the fuck out. Let me just say this.
You know what's weird? He understands everything I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
That's some shit.
I just think you when you say Kamala Harris was a real, she was keeping it real, and with Trump, you want people to lick his ass or whatever. I'm just simply saying it's one thing about being real, it's another thing about doing what works. Trump gets up there and feeds you a load of bullshit on a lot of things, obviously, that he had no intention of doing. Literally, Trump campaigned on a lot of stuff he clearly had zero intention of ever doing, but it works. And what I'm saying is the Democrats need to figure out the system on how to win, not how to be honest or be real, how to win.
You know what you just said?
Sure.
The Democrats need to lie more. The Democrats need to get down on their knees and act like they hurt and act like that the government's coming after them. The Democrats need to plead for your money and your goddamn vote. And then when they win, they need to turn their back on you and say, "Yeah, I'm good."
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that about turning their back on you. But I do agree with the lying part. I just want to tell you, look, hold on. If you get into a boxing ring, and you guys are fighting, and your opponent is using UFC moves on you, arm bars and elbows and all kinds of shit you don't normally use in a boxing ring, and the referee is letting it go, then yeah, you're gonna have to use those tactics. If Trump is making up lies and saying all kinds of crazy shit, and the refs are letting it happen, you're not gonna win fighting the traditional way.
I'm gonna tell you the problem, Tim. The problem is we don't use the 6-inch punch enough. That's the problem.
Explain.
Bruce Lee had what he called a 6-inch punch. where he could be close to you, and instead of him having to rear his arm back and swing and hit you, all he had to do was have 6 inches between you and him.
Yeah,
and
I've
he'll
seen
knock
that.
Your ass right across the room,
I know what
right?
you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. In the comments, real quick before we continue, Cardinal says 2 wrongs don't make it right, Tim. Now, I didn't say it makes it right. I'm saying you're trying to win. If you keep saying we're not gonna, what did Michelle Obama say? When they go low, we go high. Going high is causing you to lose. No, going low, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but it may make a Democrat president. So I agree with you, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but if you keep trying to do what's traditionally right, and you got half the country that is okay with somebody doing what's traditionally wrong, it's just like the boxing ring example I use. You can't win under those rules. Do you disagree with that, Stick?
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear you. I really do, and I really do feel like they do need to switch up in the sense of playing dirty. That's basically all you say.
Yeah, exactly.
Or we go lower.
Yeah.
However, this is what's going to happen with that. Then you got the both sides argument winning, right? And then we hate that bullshit. We hate that. Well, the other side do it too. The motherfuckers gerrymandered, and then as soon as California said, well, let's vote to see if we should gerrymander, let's vote now.
They didn't like it.
Not just do it. Let's vote to see if we should gerrymander. Them motherfuckers, see, both sides do it, and that's what they do. That's the shit that they do. They put out this bullshit ass narrative, and motherfuckers fall for it. That's the problem. It's not the narrative. It's that you can't see through the bullshit. You so want a motherfucker so bad to be your damn president, you willing to lick his ass and think everything that comes out of his motherfucking body is goddamn golden, whether it be his piss or his shit.
Well, I'll tell you this. I believe that they see the direction that Trump is leading the country, and they believe that direction is so beneficial for this nation that they're willing to overlook anything, because at the end of the day, he's taking us down a path of glory. He's going to make us great again, or bring back the Gilded Age. So a lot of things that the right used to criticize, the liberals are doing. If Trump does it, they're okay with it. Because remember what happened on January 6th with the Capitol Police. The way, it's always been, as long as you guys just comply and we're the law and order party. When Trump said it's all about fixing the election, they didn't give a shit if law and order went out the window and people beat the shit out of cops. So they just want Trump. They don't care about anything else.
Right, and that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. When you just want somebody and you don't care what happens to other people, when you don't care what happens to your own people, the same people that vote the same way you vote, yeah, you have crossed the line. You have went to the dark side, and ain't no coming back. And then on top of that, when you had somebody again, Ms. Harris told you what would happen if this man got in office, and you could say she was fear mongering back then, but however, look at what is going on. Everything that she fucking said, and that's the part right there what I don't get. Well, I do get. Because, like I said, they're racist, misogynist. They didn't want that woman in office, and that's what it was.
It wasn't all. Kamala Harris losing wasn't all about racism, though, was it?
It was about racism, right, and misogyny. That two combination right there. That's a no-win.
I think there's one you're not including in there, and I think it is. There was not a strong Democrat turnout in a lot of places. The Democrats also hurt themselves on that election. No. It was a strong turnout because she only had 100 days and still got 75 million votes. It was a strong turnout. However, when you got what you're talking about, that fucking narrative, oh, she slept her way to the top. Yeah. Oh, she gave everybody smoke. And that's so, that's what I'm talking about when I say that the Republicans are really good at branding the Democrat Party, because the idea that a guy that's had like 4 different wives and cheated on all of them could beat a chick because they're saying she slept her way to the top is insane. Like, this dude is anything but a high school sweetheart. He's been fucking hoes his whole life, and all of a sudden, because she had an affair with a dude 20, 30 years ago, we gonna hold her accountable to that. But this dude fucking all these hoes. His own wife is a mail order bride. He's banged a porn star on her. None of that matters. I don't know how they're able to pull it off.
So again, Tim, when you already a racist and you're already a misogynist, that's a no-brainer for you. You gonna not vote for her. And there was a lot of that shit going on, and then on top of that, you got other cultures that pretty much are right-leaning, whether it be Vivek, whether it be Nikki Haley, all of them, right? They still got that little. Well, Nikki Haley, in the sense of she can't be misogynist, I don't believe. However,
yes, you can. You can be a woman. I get plenty of women come on the program that say, conservative women, obviously, but plenty of women come on the program and say a woman should never be allowed to lead the country. In fact, I had a woman tell me, a conservative woman told me on this program, this is back when Kamala was running. She told me only a pussy for a man would want a woman to lead him.
Oh, well, a lot of men, let that pussy lead them into bad things, I'll just say, or bad behavior. But however, your behavior is your behavior. If you let that cat get to you like
Thank you, Monica. Yep, I'm just simply saying a lot of conservative women, they believe in that hierarchy: God, man, woman, child. They don't believe a woman should lead a man. So, a lot of folks believe that. You got company, though. You got the one and only MAGA Reacts.
Well, tell the women that led countries for years, like Cleopatra and other people, let them know that.
Monacola, thank you. MAGA, what brings you back?
Oh, so much. Fuck. Harris just sucks. I mean, she couldn't even fucking handle an interview. Her first interview, she had her fucking VP holding her fucking hands.
Hey, what is the interview?
Let's not even go there. You talk about all the fucking Trump's hoes. How did Trump's hoes
what is the interview doing for you right now?
Wait. Let me hear what he said. First, before you talk about the hoes, let me just say this in regards to you saying Kamala Harris sucks. If this dude is up there talking about people are eating cats and dogs, and I don't know if you realize it, but Trump sucks in a lot of interviews too, talking about the civil rights soldiers defending airports 100 years before the invention of an airplane.
He has so many that he still has a lot of good interviews. When you do like 100 interviews and you have 2 bad ones, you still have 92 good interviews. When Harris does 10 interviews and 8 of them are bad and only 2 good interviews, you suck.
Okay.
I'm going to say it like this. That's what you say because you don't even like Ms. Harris anyway.
He outworked her. He did more interviews, more fucking everything.
Racist African. How does that make sense?
What does race have to do with it? Fucking, you had a white guy.
You're a misogynist African.
He said you
How does race make you a better interviewer?
He said you're a racist African.
Well, what does race have to do with
well,
how good she can hold the interview?
Hold on, hang on, gentlemen.
Somebody hold her hand.
Hold
the
on.
First one.
I will agree with MAGA. Hold on, I will agree with MAGA. Trump did outwork her during the campaign. He was in more places at once than she was, but he called you a racist African. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know what's so racist about anything I'm saying.
I mean,
you're the one that's coming up here saying she's losing because of her race, because everybody's racist and her misogynist.
Listen, bro. You saying
fucking Hillary lost and she's white.
You're saying, well, we ain't talking about Hillary, and you wasn't talking about Hillary. You was talking about Kamala Harris, right? So at the end of the day,
at least Hillary could do an interview.
So at the end of the day, bro, look, I don't even want to go there with you. All I'm gonna say is this, bro. Half the shit that you say don't make sense, and it doesn't make sense for me to argue with somebody that doesn't make sense.
Tell me what's not making sense to you. Maybe I could draw you a picture.
Oh, she was horrible. She was this, she was that. But somehow, some way, she served in every branch of government. That person, person is so horrible.
So
but
Trump's hoes didn't get him to be president. We know her fucking boyfriend.
You know, hold on. Let me interrupt. That is not true. You said Trump's hoes did not make him president, trying to indicate that Kamala Harris somehow benefited politically from her affair. You don't have any evidence of that at all. Just because she slept with somebody, just because she slept with somebody, wait a minute. Just because she slept with somebody that was her boss, there is no evidence that she got. And by the way, he didn't promote her to Senate and vice president, so that ain't got nothing to do with that.
He got her first job, and from there it was like nowhere to go but up.
The AG of the state, the fucking mayor ain't her boss.
And there's
no, but he's a kingmaker. Anyone he fucking chooses gets that job as AG. She got her first job because of him.
Was Willie Brown a governor?
You know what a kingmaker is, right? A lot of kingmakers are not governors or whatever, but they still have enough pull.
Was Willie Brown a governor?
No.
Was Willie Brown a governor? Answer the question.
I don't know. I don't know his fucking.
No, he was not.
I just know he was a kingmaker in San Francisco or wherever the fuck she was, and that's how she got that job.
Okay.
You don't know shit. You don't know shit. It's hard.
Do you know what a kingmaker is? Are you saying kingmakers don't exist? There's no people out there that if you got their favor, people don't.
But hold on. Here is it. Let me ask you this, MAGA. Is it possible for you to have an affair with a woman that actually is qualified? If you promote her after sleeping with her, does that automatically mean she actually wasn't qualified because she won from that position and kept climbing the ranks? She wasn't sleeping with everybody else. So clearly she did have the right stuff.
That job is more politics and qualification.
No, it's not.
Her sleeping with him made her popular enough to win that position.
No.
And his fucking popularity helped her
Yeah,
get
and
that
see
position.
at that point, yeah, at that point,
about Trump?
no.
Did any of the women he slept with help him get any of his jobs?
No, first of all, what you're saying about Kamala Harris is not true. Her popularity and all this other shit you're talking about, that's just you speculating. You don't have any evidence that he went from. You're trying to tell me he went from what was it, attorney general to district attorney to senate to vice president, all because she had good pussy. That's what you're trying to tell me. You don't have any proof of that.
I'm saying the first job, it was because she had.
Okay, then how did she get all the other promotions? How did she get all the other promotions?
So again, what did you come?
She got her start because of that. That's all I'm saying.
MAGA reacts.
I don't know about the rest.
MAGA reacts. What did you come up here for, bro? Like, cause right now,
correct all the bullshit you're saying. I'm not even done with half of it.
You're being laughed at, man.
Slanging and banging in a minute.
Buddy, your fucking audience is dumb. Like, they think you're fluffing because they don't understand what you're doing.
You have
Tim, like, these people keep saying that you're fluffing because they're too
I get it all the
understand
time.
what you're trying to do, so I don't expect them to understand what I'm trying to do either.
MAGA, what did you come up here for, bro? What did you
correct all this bullshit? Look, we knew Trump won 2020, and that's why we ran him again in 2024 and won. Run her again in 2028 and watch her fucking lose again. Otherwise, shut the fuck up.
Well, so
Run her
2028
again, let's see if she wins.
Hold on. 2028 hasn't came yet, right? Trump's
okay, so stop talking shit until it comes. I have to stop talking shit in 2020.
Trump can't run anymore. He's delusional as well as you are. That's number one. For you to think that you came up here and
let's see her beat JD Vance or whoever.
Saying anything, bro. And then again, you're worse off than me. You're a racist African. You're worse off.
Nothing I've said is racist. I've never said anything about her fucking race.
Bro,
so I don't know why you fucking keep calling me racist.
Listen, the problem that we have.
If anyone racist is you.
The problem that we have right now is you don't even understand that you're an African. The problem that we're having right now.
I know I'm an African.
The problem that we're having right now.
Shit, I practically went to FAMU for pharmacy.
You don't understand that you vote not in your best interest, right? You go against.
I voted for a good economy, a strong border, and peace through strength.
When you go against the grain, soon you'll be bald head like me and Tim. When you go against the grain, so enjoy your receding hairline.
Tim can tell you I have plenty of hair.
Oh my God!
Understand that you have no substance. Understand that you're a waste of time.
You're not understanding my
3 minutes.
I mean, I don't have any.
Don't
waste my
brain cells. Listen, bro,
3 minutes.
Don't waste my brain cells. I really don't. So have a good time.
That's the problem. Use them to understand how horrible a fucking candidate Harris was.
Easy doodle. I don't care about what you're talking about. None of it makes any sense. You're living in La La Land. I think you still smoke them African herbs. You need to chill.
I don't.
You need to chill.
You know she sucks because she lost. And not only did she lose, she lost in every fucking county. Name one county where she improved anything. She did bad in fucking New York.
Tell me what man.
She got split votes
tell me what man. Okay, cool. Tell me what man that Donald Trump beat. Go.
What do you mean? He didn't fucking go up against any man. Whose fault is that? And then the one guy that beat him only beat him because fucking CV19 changed the rules and let you guys cheat all over the country like you cheat in California.
While he was president.
Right.
While he was president.
Right.
While he was president. We cheated while he was president. Oh, he's soft.
Yeah, because because the fucking states control elections. If you understand how shit works, you know he has no power.
Hold on. MAGA, hold on. Here's what I don't. Here's what I don't get.
From fucking voter harvesting homeless fucking people's votes.
Here's what I don't get is the notion that the Democrats cheated. You talking about so Republican states were Republican governors. The Democrats, like Georgia, Governor Kemp, the find me 11,000 votes governor that Trump called. That's a Republican state. How did the Democrats steal the election from a Republican president and Republican governor?
Because they cheated in Fulton County, which is ran by Democrats.
And the governor just decided to lie and say it didn't happen.
Because these fuckers don't like looking into elections. Because every time they look into election, they can fucking risk their own power.
Let me ask you this way. Can you explain to me why Trump's whole first administration all said he lost? Why every Republican governor in the country said he lost? Why every Republican senator in the country? Why are they all saying he lost if he won?
Because it was popular to do it. It was so popular to do it, especially after J6. It was so popular.
They're still saying it right now.
They didn't count them.
They're still saying it right now.
Fraud. We didn't have a 2-year fucking Russian collusion investigation. Where's my 2-year investigation?
So you're telling me
fucking independent counselor?
So you're telling me the whole Republican Party just lied because it's popular?
Pretty much. I mean, a lot of people just said, "Fuck it."
Biden
does a good job.
There's no way. So Mike Pence, so Mike Pence, the vice president, just told a lie because it was popular to do it against his own party.
I mean, because it would have been. It's because anyone who tried to prove that he fucking lost got fucked over because it was going against the grain. Trying to fucking everyone who tried to prove
but that ain't stopping him from
the J6ers.
But that's not stopping him from telling the truth. If they think he won, no one in the Republican Party.
But they had no evidence. They had no evidence because they have no control over the elections.
They didn't
go in there and investigate.
You're gonna tell me all these Republican states where Trump lost, none of them had any assets, huh? None of them.
Because it was only 4 places. It was Fulton County, Maricopa County, the area, whatever the county.
How do you know if you don't? If nobody has evidence, how do you know?
So Tim,
because the numbers didn't add it up. Because there was so much fucking smoke.
Right.
And then
and nobody in the Republican Party.
J6 happened.
So the numbers don't add up. So the numbers don't add up. And even though the math clearly don't add up, the whole Republican Party decides to not mention that because it's popular. Is what you're telling me. That makes no sense.
Because they'd rather fucking pick
that's a stupid answer. Stick, last word, Stick.
Until 2020, I'm gonna pick a winner and move on. I don't care.
MAGA, please be quiet real quick. So Tim, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk to the brethren. I'm gonna tell them leave you the fuck alone. I have never seen you push back this much ever in my life.
I don't know why.
However, what I do know is MAGA will bring it out of you. MAGA Reacts will bring this shit up out of you. And I'm glad that he has done that. I haven't said anything for the last 2 minutes. I've let you.
That's why I know he's not fluffing.
No. What I'm saying is, MAGA, you have brought the liberal out of Tim. Congratulations.
I gotta go. All right, we'll leave it at that, gentlemen.
I got flagged. I told you you're gonna get me banned today.
Thank you, Steve. And you're not gonna get banned. We're gonna roll. We're gonna make it happen, MAGA. But yeah, I don't get that. How you? And by the way, he's not the only one. I'm talking about MAGA Reacts suggesting that the election. He's not the only one that believes that. That the whole Republican Party just decided not to tell the truth about the election because it was popular to lie. That's only Trump. Trump is the only one that told the truth. Now, keep in mind, during elections, and by the way, thank you for the flag there, whoever sent that. Appreciate that. I think that was a handsome conservative. But I do want to say this. Keep in mind that when we go to vote, we don't just vote for president. We also vote for senators, congress people, fucking librarians. You vote for, bills and legislation. Maybe they're trying to pass a bill to say you can build a new casino in town or whatever. You might vote on that also in the midterms or in the national election. You vote on all of that stuff. So if the election was held fraudulently, it's going to pertain to a lot more than President Trump. Why the hell are no Republican senators or Republican Congress that won or lost that year saying that they were fraudulently propelled to victory or defeat? The whole election, only one dude, even though we're voting for hundreds of different people to get elected, only one dude is saying he got cheated. And they're somehow, some kind of way trying to make it sound like that makes sense. All of these Republican senators and Republican Congress that won and lost, ain't none of them complaining. It wasn't popular for them to say that. Slanging and banging, good evening.
Good evening, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Is that, do you agree with that?
Do I agree with what?
Now, my last guest is saying that nobody told the truth on the 2020 election because it wasn't popular, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't defend that. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
I wanted to talk to you on some other shit.
Sure, what you got?
And I wanted your last caller. I wanted MAGA Reacts. I wanted to jump in with them because I was feeling what I wanted to say.
Okay.
But you like to switch subjects. You like to hide my opinion at the time. You like to switch the subject. Which is what you did.
What opinion did you have that you believe I hid?
You're gonna make me think.
Well, if you're gonna make an incriminating statement like that, I'm gonna ask you to back it up. What opinion did you have? I had two guests on, so that's why you didn't get brought up.
Because I wanted to join with you, and I was like, don't cut them off, and then you did. I hated your one caller, and I loved MAGA Reacts. I think his name was Sticks, or I don't know. That's what you call him.
Yeah.
But like.
Well, we have a rule. We only take. Hold on. Let me explain it to you. For clarity purposes, and so that we can give the callers the proper attention, we only bring up one guest at a time. But we do have a rule. If you give a galaxy, you can. If you believe that guest is full of shit, you can give a galaxy, and we'll bring you up and give you 10 minutes with the guest. So that's what happens when you hear more than one person. But we don't know. So when you wanted it, So when you wanted to come up, we don't bring but one guest up at a time.
Sure, that's fine, and I agree with that. But you had two on. You had.
I just explained to you why.
I wanted to back up. MAGA
Okay, well, I just explained to you why.
You let me up, which I get it, because. You're running your show, you're running your program. I respect you, and I get that.
Right.
What the fuck? Like, are you happy with where we're at right now?
Hell no.
As a country?
No, are you?
No, why?
What do you mean, why? The economy sucks. We're in fucking war. We don't even really know what reason why. We have no end to it. I mean...
No, but why are we at war?
I don't know.
Which sucks, and you can agree or disagree, but guess what? This is why gas prices are at like $3.70 around me. I'm probably the lowest because I'm around Ohio, so my shit's lower than anywhere around the country. Not tipping the hat, but I will. But point is, we're around like $3.70, $3.80.
So what's your point? Are you happy with those gas prices?
It'll get down. It'll get down more probably when we went like 2 weeks or 11 days. What was it with the Iranian strikes? And then we just now we're holding off now because what? We're gonna give them a chance to talk, right?
No, they don't. No. Hold on. That is not true. That's some shit. That's some shit your president is telling you.
True?
No. Trump stated we stopped bombing Iran because they're reaching out. Hold on, let me finish. They're trying to get a ceasefire is what Trump is saying. The Iranians are saying that shit ain't true. Iran is not trying to get a ceasefire. Your president is lying to you, dude.
Economically hurting. Do you think their economics or our economics are worse? We're in America. We're the highest consumer. Why do you think everything you buy is made in China, right? Because we're the highest consumer. We buy everything.
Yeah. Real quick, hold on, real quick for folks who are wondering where this caller is. This caller is coming to you from Clapper. So for any of you wondering, hold on, hang on a second. I'm talking for you folks who are wondering where he's coming from. He's on the Clapper app. Like I said, if you want to be a caller, you can come on Clapper Instagram or Substack. Apparently, TikTok is taking it down, but we're live on the other apps. Go ahead there, Slangin'. What were you saying?
I don't know. I didn't want to interrupt you. It's your show.
Yeah.
But my point is, I was tired of your last caller who acts like he sounded like a fucking victim. I'm not gonna lie.
Explain. Elaborate.
I like the victim mentality.
Okay. What made him? What was he saying to sound like a victim? Explain. You talking about Stick the Ruler? What was he saying to make him sound like a victim?
Oh yeah, Stick. Yeah. He's yeah. Okay, so he didn't say I did just group him into a group that maybe he wasn't a part of, so that's probably not fair on my part. So I will acknowledge that, but I want to say this because it to me sounded like a Democrat, and Democrats to me sound like they're fucking gimme, but gimme never gets. And unless you're fucking working your ass off, what can you do for the country? I want you to provide for the country. Don't ask what the country can do for you. I don't want you to fucking leech off the fucking government.
Here's what.
A lot of fucking Democrats like to leech off the fucking government.
Here's where I don't get. Here's what I don't get when you're saying that. Hold on. When you're saying that Democrats want to leech off the government and what. Trump is getting free planes and everything. Is he leeching off the government? How did he get a plane for free and then charge us $400 million to fix it up?
What's his net worth?
That ain't got shit to do with this. $6 billion? What does that got to do with this?
Trump is getting $6 billion.
That ain't what I said. What I said is
the motherfucker's worth $6 billion.
That ain't got nothing to do with what I said.
What are you talking about?
Okay, if you'd listen, you'd understand. He got a free plane. Okay. He got a free plane and used $400 million of our tax money to soup up a plane that he didn't need. Tell me how that's not leeching off the government.
How do you feel that he's got all the Oval Office plated in gold?
You didn't answer my question about the plane.
What?
You didn't answer my question about the plane.
No, I did. Well, you're just talking about according to you, it would be unnecessary spending.
Do you think that plane was necessary?
It's more necessary than half the fucking.
That ain't what I asked you. Was that plane necessary?
No. All
right then. So he's leeching off the fucking government.
What else is leeching off the government though? You just want to bitch about the president, but you don't care about any of the citizens that fucking leech, and you know they do.
And you just want to bitch about
it. You think no citizen, because you want to hold the president to the highest standard. Do you not want to hold any of our citizens to a higher standard?
And you're doing the exact opposite. You just want to bitch about the citizens and you don't want to hold the president accountable.
I feel like the president has made enough money to fucking do it.
Then why didn't he spend his own money then?
All the citizens? Huh?
Then why didn't he spend his own money? Why would he spend our money if he's worth a billionaire? If he's a billionaire? Why would he spend our money?
Was it our money, though?
Yes. Yes, it was.
You can prove it?
I can prove it. They admitted it.
I'm just saying. Tim, you know I love you.
I'm listening.
Regardless. Yeah, we're both on the opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, but you trying to tell me you don't like people living off the government?
We can
No.
sit here and have a good show.
You're trying to tell me you don't like people living off the government, but the minute it becomes Trump, you got all kinds of excuses for why it's okay.
No, but I feel like Trump doesn't have to live off the government.
But he is. It doesn't matter.
Your claim is he is, and I don't have proof to back it up. But so be it. Even if he is, he's fucking like he made it. He
didn't make shit.
Like, do you think he's fucking like hanging out, just chilling right now? No, that motherfucker's. He's got fucking plans. He's 24/7 thinking of shit. Like he's making our country better. Don't you think Trump could just fucking retire and just golf the rest of his life?
I wish.
With all the money he's made?
No,
yes, of course. But why doesn't he? And why is he doing what he's doing? He's doing it to better our lives. And he's bettering your life regardless if you think he is or not.
How? How is he better? How is he? How? Explain. Tell me how he's better in my life. Tell me how he is better in my life. I want to hear this.
He's bettering your life.
Tell me how.
Because if it was Biden or Kamala, whatever the fuck he
I
pronounced.
want to know how he's better in my life.
Fucking fucked.
Let's not deflect to Biden and Kamala. I want to know how Trump is better in my life. Tell me how.
Yeah, it's better than any Democrat.
How?
I tell you.
Your heart.
Democrats would be too pussy to fucking.
You seem to. I get that you want to. I get that you want to talk about the Democrats so bad, but I asked you how. You're not giving me any how. How is he making our life better?
You go to the grocery store. What are eggs? The cost.
I don't.
Or groceries. I'm just saying. It is, and I get it. Gas is up there.
So is everything else at the grocery.
Because we're in a war.
Not only is gas up there.
It would have been 10 times worse.
Not only is gas up there, everything else at the grocery store other than eggs is up there too. That's why you picked out eggs. You didn't ask about cereal and milk, did you?
No, that was just the old little bullshit.
So how is he making my life better? How is my life better? How is my life better? I want to know how my life is better.
Your life is better.
How? You're having a hard time with the word how. The word how is stumping the hell out of you. How is it better?
It's not stumping the hell out of
Then
you.
tell me how.
Because we're in a war. If we weren't in a war, can you imagine where we would be?
Yeah.
Like, think about it.
He was already threatening to go to war with Cuba and Greenland. He the one that told us we wasn't gonna be in a war.
Yeah, but think why did he do that? He did that because like China was threatening Taiwan. You got Russia with Ukraine. This is literally like, you know what built America, right? Is imperialism. And that's literally like taking over fucking shit, which that's what built our country, right? We were 13 colonies and then we built to the west.
Plus or minus a few black people.
Seriously. What?
Plus or minus a few African Americans in that building process.
The fuck does it got to do with the...
You said how our country was built. It wasn't just all imperialist.
Well, of course we had slavery, but that's not... Why does everything got to come back to like race and...
Because y'all asses is constantly trying to write them out of history. The country was built by imperialists, my ass. They were in the house. The Negroes was outside doing that shit.
We were 13 colonies and we fucking built... There was a Louisiana Purchase. We had the Texas, what do you call it? I don't fucking know.
The Texas Racists? Is that the baseball team called the Texas Racists? Look, I gotta move it on, man. You are a riot, but I think you're wrong on every level.
But no, like, yeah, I just wanted to voice my opinion, so I appreciate you letting me do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like, I wish I could have did it with MAGA Reacts and your boy Stick. Next time, I gotta throw a Galaxy to be up there with the boys?
We gonna come up. I'm going to come up with because you can cross-platform. I'll come up with a way to do it from Clapper, so you don't have to go on TikTok as well.
Think about it one of these times.
We'll do that. We'll do that. I gotta move it on.
Tim,
all right.
Let you move it on.
Appreciate it.
Love you, brother.
Thank you. Tap the screen for you guys on TikTok. Unfortunately, TikTok, due to election talk, and I didn't think it was getting that fucking strong, they took down the ability to bring up guests for a day or so. And I'm not even. The live has been going on long enough that we're not going to go and bring up the backup page. I'll leave the backup page for tomorrow's live. So if you want to come up live, come on Instagram, TikTok, Substack, or Clapper. We'll go straight to Dencal if he's here. Tell him keep working at Starbucks. He'll be rich soon. Trump was in my state today, Michigan. Shout out to you. Dencal, good evening if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay. Now, did you hear my last caller?
I want to say one thing real quick because I was going to post a little. Why is it always we? They use the word we when it comes to building this country. But then when you want to talk about what happened to us during the building of the country, why we got to bring up the slavery part? And you can't have it both ways. You can't tell us to forget about that part, but you want to tell us that back then how y'all built such a great society.
That's exactly what he was. That's exactly what he was trying to do. As one singer once said, "Back then they didn't want me. Now we free. They all own me." I mean, that's exactly what he was trying to do. Is trying to have it both ways. So yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna ask you the question that I've been asking the entire damn show. Why is it that the far left, the stuff that hurt the far left, why does it stick to them so much better than shit sticks to the right?
I think because the right has been doing this shit for so long, we kind of just normalize it. Like, we just hear them saying shit that's not good. We hear them people saying how they should just get out the country. They've been using so much of this shit against us that when we do the same thing that they did, remember it was like, we'll blow this whole motherfucking country up, you know what I'm saying, to make sure we keep the Dems out. Yeah. They would destroy this motherfucker. We don't go to extremes, but now, when we got people like Stephen A. on there talking about we should all just vote for Republicans one time to see. Now we got motherfuckers doing what we naturally see is when that pendulum swings, because we so far right now, when that pendulum swings, what do you expect people gonna do?
What are you saying? That if things start swinging back toward the left, the right may not be able to handle it?
They can't handle it. You see, from that one lady up there saying the shit, it was almost like comical. But what I was gonna tell you is, like you say, we should be doing the same shit as they doing. Tim, you was taking that shit all out of context, man. You gotta watch the whole video, man.
What? Wait, what? You talking about that woman, the DSA woman?
Yeah, you didn't listen to the whole thing. All you heard was those cut out answers where she gave a one-word answer. And I'm sure there was more to it than that.
No, you sound like the damn Charlie Kirk defenders talking saying some shit like that.
We're supposed to do the same shit as them. Ain't that what they did to
Yeah, I suppose you could pull a Charlie Kirk and say they're taking the DSA out of context, but I didn't buy it when they said it about Charlie Kirk, and I'm not buying that shit now because
we should be. That's what they did, and it worked.
Yeah.
I can't act like we don't even know that lady instead of you running that damn clip 1,000 times.
Okay, you know something? What you just said, for a quick second, all that shit went over my head. I'm like, what is this motherfucker talking about? But now I'm getting it. You making sense. It was going over my head for a minute because I'm about to defend it, but you actually on my side, and I didn't realize it. Yeah. What he is saying is when the DSA co-chair talked about all this shit, defunding the police and defunding and getting rid of prisons and shit. Instead of defending or trying to explain what she said, the left should take the same path as the right did when it came to the Charlie Kirk statements and just said, "No, you're taking that out of context." I mean, it challenges your fucking level of intelligence, but it didn't stop the right from doing it. So what he said is, yeah, because
somebody asked me about that video clip right there, I'm gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They be like, no, you can look it up. No, I'm not gonna look it up. I just don't believe you because y'all lie.
Yeah. I mean, that is exactly what the right would do, is deny the existence of it, say it's AI, say you're taking her out of context. That's a good point.
Trump, they would tell you to your face, Trump told us he don't know nothing about that. And that was it for them. He said it. They didn't need to look it up, research that half the motherfuckers he got in his goddamn cabinet work for him. He did partnership with him. They didn't care about none of that shit.
Yeah.
But here we go. They still bringing up Plattner, which, yeah, he was a bad candidate. But guess what happened? We booted his ass out.
Yeah.
When it wasn't even beneficial to us to do that to him. They cannot do that. They will sit up there and tell you, he ain't been convicted or nothing, so I don't know.
Yeah, the crazy thing is they got, they bringing up that Plattner had Nazi tattoos that I'm like, that wouldn't have mattered worth a damn if it was a conservative. I mean, having some kind of Nazi tattoo on you as a conservative candidate, they would have just said you don't know what you're talking about. Like Hegseth. Hegseth had tattoos. They would just told you the tattoos don't mean what you think they are. But now that it's on the Democrat, they're trying to use that as against the Democrat Party that you guys are propelling Nazis. I mean, I'm going to still give it up to the right. They make shit stick that the left cannot.
Hey, same thing. Look, same thing with sexual assault and rape.
Yeah.
They was like, Trump ain't nobody accused him and took him to court and proved it. They still say, and even though somebody did take him to court and proved it, they still was like, that was a retribution. They were just trying to get Trump.
So are we just toast? I mean, do you think we're going to win the midterms at all? You think the left is going to win?
I think they are, because I think the closer we keep getting, and it's a strategy of Iran to make sure we get to the midterms.
Yeah, I've been saying that.
Anybody saying that they want to make a deal right now don't understand the Persians and their negotiating skills and their understanding of how to fight, and not necessarily win it militarily, but they know how to win the whole war. Where you have to leave with your tail between your legs, just like Afghanistan did with us. They did it with Russia. Them folks over there, they will wait you out. You can bomb their whole civilization and they will stand there.
So let me ask you, with the mission being to prevent Iran from ever getting a nuclear bomb, will we succeed at that?
No. This whole, whatever you want to call it, war excursion, whatever, is even more reason for them to want.
Yeah.
And now that his son is in there and you done killed his daddy, and now the IRGC, they gonna get a weapon. It ain't if, it's when.
Do you agree with the Trump administration and Netanyahu in saying if they get a bomb, they're going to immediately use it?
I don't see nobody in that region. I mean, they're close to a lot of other countries. Like, you can't just drop, you can't just drop.
Well, they bombing their neighbors now.
They bombing them, but they not doing something that can leave a mushroom cloud.
In the fallout. You're talking about fallout coming back to their own country.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to get to their country, to some of the countries that they cool with.
Yeah, that's true. So they will likely get a nuclear bomb and just be like North Korea, where they like, don't fuck with us, is what you're saying.
Right. Because people keep making them out. If they had a bomb, they'd use it immediately. That don't make no sense if we look at how they're managing this war right now. If they was mad, bloodthirsty people, they wouldn't be managing their shit the way they're doing it. They're doing precise targeting in specific places to get back at America. They haven't been even lobbing no bomb at Israel proper.
So what is the end game? We just say, fuck it, we lost and leave?
I mean, essentially, it can't be that simple. We just leave, but we got to find an exit point, and there is no good exit point where Donald Trump can claim victory. It's just not. They already said their nuclear program is not even under consideration.
Right now, all of this fighting is going to what? To reopen the strait, not to get rid of the dust that he, as he says it. I mean, you seen the dude have a speech talking about yeah, well, the dust is buried so low that only we can get to it. I'm like, how in the hell did they dig to put it down there? If you saying we the only ones
that sounds just like we need to own Greenland to be able to protect it. It sounds like they're just making up shit. I mean, but
we got shit all in space and all that shit. And you talking about we got to own this one piece of land to be able to protect ourselves? That's bullshit.
Yeah, I actually did a video today about that. Is that we don't? And thank you, Alter Ego. Appreciate that head mustache. I did a video about that today where, the notion is we're at war with Iran because we don't want them to have a nuclear weapon because we think if they get one, they'll do something irresponsible to another country. And I'm like, only a few months ago, we were threatening to take over Greenland for our own personal gain. And we're a nuclear member nation. Like, we are as irresponsible as what we claim they're going to be. I mean, Trump has already said Cuba's next. I mean, he obviously took out Maduro in power. Like, how can we be talking about what other countries are going to do or how irresponsible they're going to act when we're in the process of doing the same shit? And also, I played a clip of, I think it was O'Reilly the other day talking about, America's defending the world by going to war with Iran. I'm like, is there anybody that believe that shit? Well, you were just threatening to take over Greenland and you're in fucking Cuba and talking about Canada's going to be the 51st state. Is there any country that think we're protecting them?
I don't know. When we coming out with doctrine talking about the whole hemisphere is ours, we got to protect the whole hemisphere.
Yeah.
We got to have control over every damn thing. Hell, we even got a prime example of what we were just talking about. We got North Korea. Remember, just years ago, during Trump's first administration, what all he was saying was the moment they get a bomb, they're going to use it.
Yeah.
North Korea, Rocket Man, he's going to use it as soon. Now, you don't hear a fucking word about nothing.
Yeah, same thing about the fentanyl boats and shit like that, too. Now that we've taken over Venezuela, in Venezuela was not even in the top 5 for fentanyl-producing countries. You don't hear the trumpet. They were counting down how many deaths a pin drop worth of fentanyl could take. They were all over the damages fentanyl could do. The minute we took over Venezuela, all of the talk about fentanyl just ceased, as if the fentanyl market in America just disappeared.
Yeah, it's amazing that we can have these conversations with people, and all they can keep saying is, "Why do you keep talking about Trump?" Like, I seen a post where somebody was showing what his feed looked like on Truth Social today, and it was like not even a damn like a 10th grade kid would post the kind of shit he posts on it. All of this stuff about how he's showing himself as strong, stunning, with the muscles, and he flying planes and driving ships across the water, talking about this our oil. Like, it is hilarious.
Listen, Trump. Listen. A shout out to Trump. The man is 80 years old. He having the time of his life, man. I mean, look, he's trolling everybody. He's the talk of the town. Like he said at the correspondence dinner, y'all all gonna go broke when I go away. I mean, I'm all you guys. So he likes this shit, whether it's positive or negative publicity. Despite him complaining about the media don't give him a fair shake or whatever, he would miss CNN and MSNBC if they went away too. He likes just being talked about.
Of course. It just makes no sense to me, and we can have conversations or arguments or disagreements, but you got people like the last guy talking about something. He's made your life better. He can't explain how your life is better.
Yeah.
So basically, he's just saying, you don't work for your shit. You're given it by the government. That's what he's saying.
Well, they do have this belief that the welfare program and all the entitlement programs, everybody that receives help are Democrats. And most of them are black. Yeah,
he said that.
All of the welfare recipients in Montana and Idaho are black.
I mean, you can easily go on the Department of Labor. You can go on the website and look it up and see that white people are the majority of those recipients. All of them people, West Virginia and Mississippi and stuff, they don't have no fucking industries going on for themselves. All of them people is on fucking government assistance.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but I'll do you one better. If the overwhelming majority of people receiving welfare were black, they would cut the program off. They would give it. I mean, fuck that. Ain't no way I'm gonna give all my money to all them Negroes and they just sitting at home and I gotta work. If most of the people receiving welfare were black, they would get rid of the fucking program. It would be over. There's no way in hell I'm gonna support this program. And these Negroes are they already think it's mostly Negroes. So I don't know. To me, that's where that part is racism to me. To think that most of the people are like that. Because when you go to black neighborhoods, there are black people working everywhere. Who do you think is running all of the shops and businesses and movie theaters? And you go to the mall, everywhere you look is black people working. So why the hell you think they all sitting around waiting on this $200-300 a month you're sending them? That's racism to me when people talk like that.
Well, we can't take credit. We can't take credit for what we've done to improve our own lives, but we need to thank them motherfuckers because we built the whole world. You know, we. Hey, but I know you got to go. But the last thing I wanted to say though is that one guy you had on from Instagram earlier talking about the ego and stuff of the people is like preventing them from coming out of this.
That was a good call.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, he's having problems. He's still not all the way there. He sounds like he's getting there, but when he say stuff like, if you know what you know now, that Trump was going to be, he was going to be an adjudicated rapist, if he was going to cover up the Epstein files, if you were going to watch him do all of this fuck shit with the money and pulling taxes and shit away, well, no, I still wouldn't vote for Trump. What the fuck is that?
Well, wait a minute. No, hold on. I got to defend him by saying this. If you're unhappy MAGA, and you could go back in time knowing what you know now, the correct course of action is not to vote. You're not going to vote for a liberal because, look, even though Trump is disappointing a lot of MAGA, I mean, they don't like you know what they don't like. They don't like the trans. They don't like how the Democrats manage the border. I mean, they still don't like the Democrats. So if I'm disgruntled with Trump, and I can go back in time knowing what I know now, for the most part, I'm gonna sit the election out, or I'm gonna write in, or I'm gonna vote for some independent. They're still not gonna vote for Kamala Harris.
Look, I don't see it that way. I mean, when you got two people, and like you say, coming back, knowing what you know now, that he's doing, killing our soldiers. He talking about, well, Kamala would still be doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
We have zero proof of that. He's putting that shit on her hypothetically just so he can say he won't vote for her. We're in a two-party fucking system. And nobody thinks because I don't like my candidate that much, I'm just going to not vote. People still come out and vote. That's why we got swing states. That's why we got people that go back and forth between parties all the time. If I know one person is going to drive this country into the goddamn dirt, having some goddamn wars, fuck us over with crypto and all kinds of shit like that, I don't give a fuck who the other person is. Well, as long as they don't have no history of doing shit like that. Kamala and Joe is the only ones who started reducing the amount of weapons we was giving to Israel.
Yeah.
But they still call him Genocide Joe.
Well, you heard Gangsta Grandma. She suggested that there was a whole bunch of racists on the left.
But I mean, that's like her opinion. I'm not gonna say like of course there can be racists on the left. Like just the pure numbers show it. But it's different from being a racist than having racist policies that affect black people. You could not like us. Joe Biden could be a racist for all I know. But what did he do? He tried to put in things to help us raise our level in this country.
When you look at what Joe Biden did as president, at the very least he would be, if we're going to throw the word racism at Joe Biden, at the very least he would be a reform racist. There's no way you're going to be racist and put in Kamala Harris and Najee Brown and help out Obama. Like you don't lost some of your racism over the years, man. If I'm a fellow racist, I'm looking at him like you ain't one of us no more. You appoint too many Negroes, so I don't see him as the guy was born in what 1940 or whatever, or the late 30s. Yeah, maybe back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, but what he has done in the last 20 years of his life, you can't be racist and do that.
Right, you can't fight for civil rights.
Yeah, you can't be racist and do that.
Yeah, just the same way he went to that former senator. He went there and did his eulogy.
You talking about Senator Byrd that they always throw up? Yeah.
He was a reformed racist.
Yep.
After he reformed, he went to. Matter of fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Barack Obama went there too.
But I think Barack Obama and Jesse Jackson were at Senator Byrd's funeral or whatever. Yeah.
That's an indicator.
They don't bring that up. They don't, when they want to say that Biden hung around Senator Byrd as a reason to suggest that he's racist, they don't bring up that Biden and Jesse Jackson were there because it throws the narrative off.
Right. Just like it throws the narrative off for them to say that Donald Trump's dad was caught at those dang on.
Yeah, we can't talk about that now. We can't talk about that. I got to move it on. We can't talk about that though. Thanks, Dan Cal, for coming through.
All right, take care.
Anytime. All right, moving on with the program real quick. Yes.
Hey, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Hey, do the hearts and stuff on Instagram, did that give any benefit to your show?
I don't know I know they do on Clapper. I don't know about on Instagram though.
Okay, I was just wondering if I was just tapping for nothing.
It may help out in terms of bringing other folks. I don't know. But I appreciate you doing it no matter what.
All right, I'll encourage others that come on here to do it too, so maybe it'll have some effect and we get more engagement on Instagram too.
Please do. Thank you very much. All right. Moving on with the program in the comments. I lost my damn spectacles, so I can't read shit. Okay. Worked in the welfare, what does that say? Worked in the welfare office before. There was never a shortage of your people in there, says Jack. Well, you said you worked in the welfare office before, and there was never a shortage of black people in there. Well, it depends on what welfare office you work in. As I mentioned, if you're working in a welfare office in Boise, Idaho, I guarantee you there's a shortage of black people. Depends on where you're at. If you're in a black neighborhood, yeah, it's going to be a lot of black people coming in there. But I guarantee you there are welfare offices where there's not many black people coming in there. That's just not where you happen to work at. Go figure. Tim, I will vote for a Democrat who rejects the far left, Biden's socialism and bureaucracy. Well, Biden's gone, so you're not going to get a Democrat rejecting. Biden is no longer part of the conversation. I mean, Biden is dealing with stage 4 prostate cancer. Who the hell's going to reject a dying man? So Biden, I don't know why you guys Biden is out of it. Biden, and you say in the comments they still defend him and what he did. Well, he's look, the guy's on his deathbed. So I don't know what you want. You want people to still be saying, I don't like Biden right before the guy dies? It's just not going to happen. I mean, the guy is gone. But you're talking about you would vote for a Democrat that rejects the far left. You're voting for Republicans that promote the far right. To me, if you support far right policies, it makes no sense to ever vote Democrat. Some of the stuff that Trump is doing is really far to the right. And you think he's done a decent job. So I would not expect you, after saying something like that, to ever vote Democrat. Because it would be different if we're talking about a McCain voter saying, I would vote for Obama if he got rid of universal health care. Or a Bush voter saying that. Because both of those individuals are closer to the center. Trump's nowhere near the center. Trump is as far to the right as you guys were claiming Obama was far to the left. Trump is much further right than Obama was left. In fact, Trump is much further right than any Democrat president in recent ever that I know of. Trump is further to the right than any Democrat president has been to the left. Now, if you want to talk about Bernie Sanders or AOC or something, but they have never won the office. But Trump is the furthest right president we've had in our lifetime. Now, I'm not going to say he's the furthest right ever because There are plenty of folks that were so far to the right they didn't think anybody should have had rights other than property owning white males. But that is part of our history. But in terms of our lifetime, Trump is further to the right than anything we've had in our lifetime. That does not apply to anybody on the left that I'm going to say. And most of you guys here hate most of you guys hate Israel. So how can you guys relate? What does that say? Says Good Time says most of you guys hate Israel. So how can you guys relate to in God? I don't know what God you have. Well, first of all, we need to get God out of politics. We just need to get God completely out of politics. God is about as divisive as you can be. That's why we're talking about, we don't like Sharia law, but we need to bring back Christianity in schools. It's already starting to cause us to be judgmental. So whatever God you favor, that's fine, but get it out of politics. Keep that in your home. Let that be between you and the Lord. It should not be in politics. So in the idea of saying that you guys hate Israel, the far right don't like Israel either. I don't know if you realize that or not. The Tucker Carlsons, the Nick Fuentes, they don't like Israel either. There's plenty of anti-Israelites on the right as well. So folks believe that particularly Netanyahu, let's call it what it is. It ain't the Israelis. It's Netanyahu. Netanyahu is the furthest right-wing candidate or right-wing president Israel has had in a while as well. And Netanyahu is getting involved in conflicts and going overboard on stuff that maybe some leader of Israel in the past would not have done. And as a result, he's dragged us into conflicts. So it ain't that they hate Israel, they dislike what Netanyahu is doing. You can actually criticize a leader of a country and not hate that country. This is some new shit that's come along since Trump became president, that if you criticize the country, somehow you hate it or some crazy shit, which makes no sense at all because Trump campaigned constantly criticizing America. The military was dilapidated, whole cities were shitholes, just saying nothing but negative stuff about the country, and somehow the minute the left does it, it means you hate the country. So that whole mindset really needs to change. We're living in, I'm not going to go into all of that. He said we're living in Ezekiel and all this shit right now. We were living in that shit 200 years ago. People been telling me we're living in the last days since I was born. God damn it, they've been telling me that shit so long, I'm now living in the last days. I'll probably be dead in 20 years. I'm now in the last days. I've been waiting for this shit so long. So it should actually be taken out of politics. That's all I'm saying. Keep your beliefs to yourself. Do not force your beliefs on other people, using them to dominate women and molest children and all that other shit that's come along with it as well. Keep your beliefs to yourself. I'm fine with you believing whatever you want to believe, but once you start telling other folks that they should live and operate based on your beliefs, such as who you can love and all this other shit, it's going too far. And I don't like that. And that's what religion tends to do, is it starts telling people that they should live their life according to what your religion is saying. We'll go to Q in the comments. Good evening, Q. Welcome to the program.
Well, hi, Tim.
Hey, what's going on?
Should I play the music for you?
You can drop it.
Wait. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Alter ego. Thank you. So what brings you up, King?
Yeah. So you decided to grow some nuts today, huh?
I've always had testicles. They just dropped a little bit today.
Yeah, they did. Finally, you decide to have a little bit of nuts.
That's
and
bullshit.
come back to the liberal side, huh?
That's bullshit.
Dark side.
That's bullshit. I've always expressed my points. That's you guys who think I'm fluffing. That's some bullshit you guys make up.
Nah, you've been fluffing, but we give you a little bit of credit today.
Thank you.
You finally decided to drop, let your nuts hang a little bit. That's good for you. However, so, I'm not going to spend too much of your precious time because I know you've been on it forever. But, I think it's really fucked up that your boy, that Russian plant, is what I'm going to call him, that Russian plant got your live access taken down on TikTok.
No, listen, I don't blame that on him. I was talking about the election as well. So I don't, look, TikTok censors, and only TikTok. I haven't received, look, all of the platforms we're on can hear us talking about the election. Only TikTok. So that's something that is programmed into TikTok that you can't talk about the 2020 election. No other platform flags that.
Yeah, I agree. It's just funny, man. Motherfuckers be talking that bullshit, and your boy. Listen, this is what I wanted to say. I wanted to ask, and I've been wanted to ask that Russian plant.
He's listening. You're talking about MAGA Reacts. You're talking about MAGA Reacts. He is listening.
The oil market is projecting September to be the highest month ever. Oil is starting out at $140 a barrel in September.
Ooh.
What are we talking about? They closed off all the other routes. The Bab el-Mandeb, the Yangtze has been bombed. Iran said it ain't no ceasefire till y'all stop playing. They're not joking around. Y'all think this shit is a fashion show.
Well,
Trump is literally playing with people's lives right now.
You know where this is coming from. When Trump says, the strait will be open in a few weeks, or gas prices are going to come down like a rocket. They don't feel stressed because they're still believing that stuff.
And the crux of it all, is that USA shit you played earlier. I just want to say this here. This is the far right, Project 2025 and them motherfuckers, is that the Republican Party representatives?
Yeah.
No, right?
No, it is. They don't. No, they'll say no. They'll say no. But Trump has been at the Heritage Foundation raising cash and everything. So obviously, Project 2025 is something that Trump has given the Heritage Foundation reason to believe that if you elect me, you'll get this.
Right. So I'm gonna say the same thing about the DSA. The Democrats need to do exactly what we've been doing and say we don't know what you're talking about. I think that was
Dencal. Dencal said that.
Dencal said that. We don't know what you're talking about.
The Democrats ain't smart. The Democrats ain't smart enough to do that shit. The Democrats ain't smart enough to do that.
I don't know. I think they will, bro. I think that's gonna be what you started seeing. And I kind of agree with what he was saying.
I do too.
You notice how much time it was in between when she answered and the questions that the reporter was asking her?
What do you mean?
Take a look at the tape again. When she asked her those questions, any of those questions that she asked, was there not space?
I can't look. I can't believe
National co-chair Megan Romer.
I can't believe she would even go on Fox News and do this. I mean, like, you just set your own party on fire, my sort of. To go on Fox News and give them this kind of image. I'll play it again though.
The Senate.
True.
Okay, replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
National co-chair Megan Romer, co-chair of the Democrats.
No,
she was asked
I don't
the
think it's been
organization.
edited. What do you think, it's been edited or something?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's possible. It's not possible that it could have been edited because of the time.
When I'm looking at her facial expressions and shit. She's thinking about the answer and looking up, and I think it's legit. And the DSA would immediately say that if they got edited or something like that.
I'll say this: they've been saying Mitch McConnell been alive for this whole time.
You think the motherfucker dead?
I don't know.
Yeah, look.
I'm just saying. We all know that photo with him and his wife is a fucking a fake. That picture of him and his wife is a fake.
I would put Mitch. Yeah, I would put it at 50-50. I'd be curious to see what the poly market is saying.
Yeah.
I would put it at 50-50.
I think Mitch been gone since June.
Damn. Well, they ain't even gonna have a body at that point. I mean, he would be.
I'm gonna go. And this is my last statement. Why is it okay for Lindsey Graham's sister to be the biggest DEI hire that we have ever seen. That is the huge. I don't want to hear not another Republican say a damn thing about DEIA when Lindsey Graham's sister literally fell into the seat like she fell into a damn chair. You motherfuckers are the biggest hypocrites ever. What you say?
She's actually gonna run for the seat for the whole term.
What does it matter? She's never been elected. She's never been an elected official. So all of a sudden, it's just okay for her to run.
You come on now. Look, a lot of stuff that MAGA says, it applies to Democrats. It don't apply to them. If Lindsey Graham's sister is promising to be loyal to the MAGA movement, they don't give a fuck if she was a high school dropout. All of that shit they said about Kamala Harris would go out the window. That only applies to Democrats. That don't apply to them.
Oh, and one more thing. To all of y'all who believe that Kamala slept her way, I want to ask you something too, motherfucker. Where was the affair? They were dating. What was the affair? She wasn't married, neither was Willie.
I thought one of them were married. I thought Willie Brown. I thought he was married.
I'll look it up with you. But as far as I remember, they were dating, and there was no affair.
Well, he was her boss, though.
Come on, Tim. For real?
Well, wait, hold on. Wait, come on now. Wait, King. There is no way in hell you gonna fuck your boss and get a promotion, and people are not gonna say that somehow, some way. Even if it's wrong, they're gonna say that promotion has something to do with that dick.
Yeah.
Right. So, but they can only say the one promotion. They can only say the one promotion. They're trying to make it sound like Kamala Harris, her whole fucking life is based on that affair with Willie Brown. That's when it gets to be ridiculous.
And that's what I wanted to ask MAGA React. So who else did Willie Brown make a king?
That's a great question.
Since he's such this kingmaker.
He did say she was a kingmaker.
Willie Brown make a king?
He did. And MAGA React says, listen, and MAGA, he wants to know who else did Willie Brown make a king. He's saying Google it. He's telling you to Google it because he don't know. Right. I gotta move it on, King.
Like I said, a fucking Russian plant. Go back to being a ficus, you fucking tree.
Well, I think calling him a Russian plant is a promotion over stick calling him a racist African. I gotta go.
African Russian plant.
All right, folks. There you go. Closing the program. That is King Finn. In the comments, they are insider trading the oil market opening. Yeah, there's a lot of insider trading going on. I think the Trump administration is manipulating the hell out of the markets. I absolutely believe that. Jesus Christ, and you guys are going crazy in these comments with this religious shit. Jesus Christ, when it says Jesus is false. Jesus is a false prophet according to Judaism. Jesus Christ and Israel aren't compatible. Yikes. Handsome conservative, good evening.
Hey, man, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
All right, man. Now, listen, I just came up to say I thought you did a good job today on Clapper. I noticed your following is growing over here.
Well, because TikTok shut down my my ability to take live calls, they brought a few folks over here.
No, it was growing long before that today.
Oh.
I've been watching the numbers on the top of the screen. You've been doing really well today. I just wanted you to know your following is growing.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got to start posting.
Earlier, you misunderstood my question.
What was your
question? I was asking you if most women vote Democrat, and you were talking about women losing their right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
How would that affect the Democratic Party? See, you took it the wrong way. I was trying to ask.
I'm clueless. I don't get what you're saying.
It was if most women vote Democrat, because that's what I always thought. right to vote, how would that affect the Democratic Party?
Oh, it would hurt. It would hurt. It would hurt bad. I get your point now. Yeah, if women lose the right to vote, you are right. A lot of women, particularly all minority women, you know, when it comes to voting Democrat, like I think black women, like 7% voted for Trump. So that's 93% of, now that's a small group of people. African Americans are only like 13% of the population. So you got to assume African American women would drop it down to about 5 or 6 because half of the population is going to be men. So, but it's still in some areas that makes a big difference. We're only 13% of the country as a whole, but in some areas we may be half of the voting public. Like in Atlanta, for instance, Fulton County, that Trump always tries to say stole the election. I mean, there's a lot of black people there. So yeah, if women lose their right to vote, it would really hurt the Democrat Party. But I gotta say, there are also a lot of deep red conservative areas that may start going purple because you may have a lot of men in that area that may vote left. I think it would hurt both sides depending on what areas you're in.
Well, I mean, God rest her soul. Even my mom voted Democrat. So, I mean, not just black women, but white women, Hispanic women. I mean, it has always been my belief that most women vote Democrat.
That's true.
That's why I was asking the question. I didn't mean it in an offensive way.
No, I didn't. I misunderstood it. But yeah, I think that if women lost the right to vote, I do believe it would hurt the Democrat Party more than the Republican Party. There would be some painstaking happen for the right as well, but it would hurt the Democrats more. Which is why you don't ever hear Democrat women talking about giving up their right to vote.
Okay, I just wanted to, before I let you go, because you've been on a while, I know, but before I let you go, I just want to say, you noticed how Clapper has not cut your live or dropped your guests or anything like that? You need to get these people off of TikTok because it's fucking with your show. Even Gangster Grandma has to go over to Messenger just to come in and not be kicked.
It's a good point. I'll start promoting more. That is a point well taken. I do tell the guests that, but folks are so used to using TikTok. But yeah, Clapper, the handsome liberal on Clapper, where you can come up live. It is a reliable platform. That is true. TikTok.
And you don't have to have any kind of amount of people to go live. You don't have to have any amount to be called up. It's not like TikTok in that way, so it's open and free.
Yeah.
One last thing. You were talking about you have to give a galaxy on TikTok to come up and debate.
Right.
I was thinking we have something similar over here on Clapper. It's the Clapper flag, and it's around the same price.
Okay.
So you might want to promote that. Here, I'll show you real fast. This is what I'm talking about, and it's the same price.
Oh, and it takes up the whole screen. Okay, I see it now.
Yeah, and it costs the same price as the Galaxy. So if you promote that, you can get double the people over here on Clapper to come up and debate.
I'm sold. I will start promoting it starting tomorrow. I'm sold. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, bud. And I gave you like $30 worth of gifts today, so check your balance.
All right, well, I appreciate it. You showed your boy some love, so we don't get that as much. So thank you always, handsome conservative. Appreciate it. Looking in the comments real quick. What does that say? Get back or at everyone laughing at his. What are you talking about? You guys are in the comments on TikTok. What I may end up doing if Clapper does grow like that, because the angle of viewing will change, and Clapper could end up being that spot. And you have a good night there too, handsome conservative. Looking in the comments briefly, and want to make sure I didn't miss anything before we do what we gotta do. No, Tim, most of MAGA voted for Orange Fool because he was okay with hate coming to the light. I don't know if I would say most of MAGA voted for Trump because of hate. I do believe that played a part in it. I think Trump is really good at creating boogeymen, LGBTQ, immigrants, African Americans. I mean, yeah, he's really good at promoting boogeymen. Like right now, the boogeyman is communism. That's what he's created. I mean, he is really good at creating boogeymen, and it does get MAGA to react. Get it? So, there's nothing I can't disagree with that, but I don't think it's all based on hate. But I gotta say, a lot of the ones that are hanging on now, you probably got more hate now than you did in the beginning crowd. You know, the beginning crowd had everybody from Marjorie Taylor Greene to Tucker Carlson, all of them were involved in it. There's a lot of MAGA that have left at this point. And yeah, to me, that's one of Trump's successes. Because, the economy is not doing good right now. Gas prices are not doing good right now. The war is not doing good right now. Hate is doing phenomenal. He is going after all of those boogeymen groups and really treating them like shit. So I do believe that while most of the folks, I'm talking to my beloved MAGA, while most of MAGA in the beginning, 2024, that supported Trump, I don't think hate was as large a part of voting for Trump as it may be of those who continue to remain supporting Trump. Because, and I'm saying it for a simple fact, Trump is not delivering on much. If you're still on the Trump train, and I ask you, well, what has he done that you're really happy with so far? It's the hate shit. He's went out to immigrants. He's done stuff to, I'm going to bring up African Americans and, their history and all of this shit, and going at the Haitians and all this shit. I mean, that's most of it is LGBTQ. That's another group that MAGA does not like. He's done a lot of successful shit going after them. But in terms of, has he brought your grocery bill down? No. He promised to cut your rent in half. Has he done that? No. He promised to get you down to $2 gas. Has he done? No. So Trump's biggest successes right now are the hate stuff. It is the stuff about punishing those folks that we believe are the bad guys. So yeah, at this point, if you're still riding with Trump, you have to at least like some of that hateful stuff, because there's just not much else outside of that that's going on right now. Some folks do support the war in Iran and believe it was necessary. Fair enough, but that ain't going well. I mean, you believe that the previous presidents, including Biden and Obama, talked about Iran doesn't deserve a nuclear weapon, but they didn't do shit to stop it. Or even believing that Obama wrote up a terrible deal with the JCPOA. Fine. So Trump decided to do something as opposed to just talking about it. Yeah, but what he's doing is not working. We're not gaining anything out of Iran other than being able to brag about blowing up shit. But the objectives that Trump stated, he stated 3 objectives when we went into Iran. 1 being they can never have a nuclear bomb. 2 being we want regime change and America has to have input on who they replace the Ayatollah with. And 3 being they are killing protesters, and that has to stop. 2 of those objectives are no longer even on the table. He's not even discussing them anymore. We obviously are not there to save protesters when we're talking about blowing up bridges and water plants. So we clearly are not there for the benefit of the protesters. It's not even being mentioned anymore. And also replacing the Ayatollah with somebody that we have input in. It's not even being mentioned anymore. So 2 of the 3 original objectives are not even being discussed anymore. So, like I said, what is he doing that's so great right now? Well, he's securing the border, and he's punishing the immigrants. He's gotten trans out of sports. It's the boogeyman. That's what he's doing. He's taking care of the boogeyman. So go figure. Looking in the comments, he said if he comes for you, that's communism. I guess every country. I want to play some before we do wrap it up. Speaking of communism, because I strongly believe many of the folks on the right talking about communism I don't think you know what it is. This is President Trump a few days ago.
I'll be honest. I think I'd be the greatest communist in history. I'd give free rent. Ladies and gentlemen, from now on, you don't have to pay any rent. From now on, anybody wants a house, don't worry about it. Just pick the house you want. Everybody gets free food. Everything is free from this point forward, as you saw with the communists.
Anybody that talks like that don't know what communism is. What country on earth allows you to go pick out any house you want, get free rent and free food? There's not a single nation on earth that does that. And I hear MAGA often echoing this. You socialists and communists are about giving everybody free shit. There's no country on earth that does what he just said. Go pick out whatever house you want, free house, free shit. Nobody does that. I see in the comments, Polish guy 13 says, sounds like socialism. Tell me what country is doing this. Tell me what country I could go to and they give you, go drive around the countryside and pick out whatever house you want. We'll give you free food. No, that's not happening anywhere on earth. That is just Trump lying. You know, maybe MAGA reacts would call it a cheerleader or something, but that's just a lie. That has nothing to do with communism, what he just said. Nobody on earth is doing that. Go pick out the house you want and we'll give you that house and we'll give you free food. You ain't got to work or nothing like that. If there were countries like that, people would be trying to get into them. That doesn't happen anywhere on earth. So I'm going to submit to you that I believe there's a lot of folks, particularly ones that are listening to shit like that don't know what communism even is. If you believe that, you don't know what communism is. And I would tell you that if you got a president saying that, he don't know either. He does. If you asked him to describe what communism, this guy has traveled the world. Trump has traveled the world. He's been in all sorts of countries. Not to mention he's been in China and Russia numerous times. He knows in China and Russia, they don't get to drive around and pick out a house and get to eat for free. He know that ain't happening there. This is a lie. That's all it is. This is a fucking lie. But the problem is folks hear this shit and they believe it. He know this ain't happening nowhere on the planet. People behind him laughing and shit like that. Like this is really happening. This is just a straight up lie. In the comments, Polish guy says it has more moving parts. This is not one of the parts. I don't care how many there is no country on earth where you get to drive around and pick out a house and it's just yours. That doesn't happen anywhere. And I know this for folks who try to push back. There's nobody naming any country that does that. Name me a country where the citizens get to drive around and just pick out a house at random and it's theirs. That's not happening anywhere on earth. It's just a lie. And I see in the comments, PG says it's his type of socialism. He gets to pick out a $400 million plane. Damn right. That's a perfect way of discussing it. That is perfect. That is the truth. Look, to me, some of the tenets of social, this is just like what I used to say about the border when Trump was saying that everybody was coming to rape and murdering people and they were all empty in insane asylums. The way the Democrats were handling the border was dismal under Biden. The truth was good enough. Trump does what he's doing here often. He makes up lies when the truth is sufficient. If you think socialism is going to be harmful to the American economy, just tell the truth. You lose credibility when you just make up shit like this that most, I won't say everybody, because there are folks who are on the right side of the aisle. I'm going to say it's mostly MAGA, but there are folks who are dumb enough to believe what he just said here, that you just get to drive around the countryside, pick out a house, and it's yours. But most people who, I don't know, graduated out of 8th grade, they know this ain't true. They know. So to me, he's telling lies that, look, the truth would do. Why make up some wacky shit like this? That anybody with even an 8th grade education would know this isn't true. So go figure. In the comments, who says that? Farmer Floyd says they did that in Nazi Germany. Well, yeah, if you're going to kill the inhabitants of the house, yeah, you can drive around and pick out a house if the owner's in a concentration camp waiting for the furnace to come on. That's different. That's not socialism. That's murder. That's a whole different ball game. Yeah, maybe Nazi Germany did do it. They were killing people and taking their property. That's not socialism. That's fucking robbery. Different point, different story. What's your point? We're all here now. My great-grandfather spoke very little English. His son spoke very little German. You see this country is one big mess, and we're not all part. Well, the point is the president is lying to you. That's all I'm saying. The president is lying to you. Nobody walks around picking out houses and getting free food and free everything. And that doesn't happen in socialist countries either. You're going to tell me nobody in China, China's a communist country. Nobody works over there, huh? Russia's a communist country. Nobody got a job, huh? They all just sitting back. Everything's taken care of. I think North Vietnam is what was formerly known as North Vietnam. That was nobody's working over there, huh? They're just getting free shit. It's just a lie. There's no other way to frame this. This dude is lying to the public. It's not cheerleading, as MAGA Reacts would say, or anything. He's just lying. That's a bold-faced lie what he just said. The only problem is there are folks who hear this and actually believe it. And in the comments, one of the viewers is saying this is the right EI or AI. This ain't AI right here, though. This is something he said the other day on TV. Anyhow, this is the right wing cherishing racism. Damn. Fair enough. So I appreciate you folks tuning in. You guys know what time it is. We've been on for a minute. I will certainly be here tomorrow. Thank you folks that support the program. If you enjoy open dialogue from all sides of the aisle, I'll say what I say in conclusion. Follow the program. If you're watching us on Clapper, which may start becoming one of the bigger platforms we use, Clapper, Clapper. Like you're clapping, clap on. Clapper, same name across all platforms, the handsome liberal. If you got Clapper, Instagram, TikTok, or Substack, you can come up live and be a caller on tomorrow's show. It doesn't cost you a penny to do so. Just go to those platforms. Handsome Liberal, you'll see my picture. Follow the program, and tomorrow we'll look forward to hearing from you. It's your boy Tim. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good night and take care. I got to get up and work for the man like everybody else. See ya.